Transmitting on the FM 90 band. 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary, and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester. Transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew, and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Coopers Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James. Serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland, and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on the World Wide Web on nationwideradiojm.com and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Put your money in motion. Drive VMW, VM Wealth Management. Transform your everyday.
The time by VM Wealth Management is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
Good morning to you. I'm Tona Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Monday, October 6, 2025. 5 people are dead, including an infant, following a shooting incident in Commodore, Northern St. Catherine. G2K blasts opposition leader Mark Golding, branding him entitled for demanding a meeting with the Prime Minister. Opposition spokesman on health says Jamaicans must look out for each other amid a troubling rise in reports of suicide. In regional news, Guyana's largest and newest thoroughfare is named in honor of Barrett Jagdeo. In international news, France's Prime Minister resigns after only 27 days on the job. In sports, Montego Bay United beat Chapelton Maroons 2-1 in JPL on Sunday. And in business, U.S. pharmacy chain Rite Aid closes final stores. The details after the break.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Nationwide News understands that 8 people were shot, 5 fatally in St. Catherine, sometime after 10 p.m. on Sunday night. It's understood the incident reportedly involved the work of gunmen and happened in the community of Commodore in Linstead in the parish. The ages of the deceased are 4, 42, 19, 39, and 22 years old. It's understood that an 11-year-old is among those being treated at hospital. We'll have more on this developing story over the course of the morning. Now, the young professional affiliate of the Jamaica Labour Party JLP Generation 2000 G2K has branded opposition leader Mark Golding as arrogant, entitled and immature. This after Golding published a letter sent to Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness in which he took umbrage at the suggestion from the Prime Minister that he meet with Justice Minister Delroy Chuck to discuss the way forward for constitutional reform. In a statement on Sunday, G2K also criticized Mark Golding for what they say is his general disrespect towards the Prime Minister. Robin Williams reports.
G2K says it's of the view that Golding's latest stance is another indicator of his willingness to act as an impediment to Jamaica removing the United Kingdom's monarch as head of state. G2K says it recalls Golding's protracted hesitation in relinquishing his United Kingdom citizenship. The group says it's concerned Golding's conduct is reflective of an individual who, at heart, does not wish for Jamaica to remove the British King as head of state and create a republic. According to G2K, it should also be noted that regarding the issue of constitutional reform and making Jamaica a republic, initially Golding had committed to proceeding on areas where there is agreement between both major political parties. In its statement, G2K reminded that Mr. Golding had also urged eagerness in deposing the UK-based monarchy as head of state. But the group says unfortunately Golding backtracked when it appeared the government's move to have Jamaica become a republic would imminently succeed. G2K is also criticizing Golding for what it says is his consistent disrespect of both Prime Minister Holness and the office of the Prime Minister. The group says the most recent example was when Golding refused to observe protocol and stand for the arrival of the Prime Minister at the recent swearing-in ceremony at King's House. G2K says Golding also committed a similar protocol breach during a recent diaspora conference and also refused to directly acknowledge the then Prime Minister-elect during his concession speech on general election night. According to G2K, the PNP president also raised eyebrows at a corporate event which was held in the weeks leading up to the general election when he and his team removed themselves from the event immediately after Dr. Holness arrived. G2K says while making a hasty exit from the event just prior to commencement of formal proceedings, one of Golding's handlers commented, "Time come." G2K says it's ironic that despite his track record of disrespecting Dr. Holness, Golding is now seeking to meet directly with the Prime Minister as opposed to meeting with the Constitutional Affairs Minister, whose portfolio Golding recently appointed himself to shadow. Generation 2000 is calling on Golding to desist from what the group described as his entitled, immature and disrespectful approach towards Prime Minister Holness and the office of the Prime Minister. The group says Golding should realign his stance towards one which is favorable to making Jamaica a republic as soon as possible. Robeanne Williams for Nationwide News.
President of the Cornwall Bar Association, Michael Hemmings, is suggesting that the country's best interests can only be served if both the government and opposition surrender partisan considerations in the pursuit of constitutional reform.
The Constitution is the country's supreme legislation, and when it comes to constitutional reform or any change, it requires great doing. It's not just something that is willy-nilly changed. So as it relates to whether or not I'm skeptical that it will be done, it is whether or not the persons who are seeking to do so will get the support as is required, the two-thirds majority as is required. I am not sure as it is now, but I welcome any change that will assist the nation in a great way and that will protect our rights and freedoms that are enshrined within the Constitution and the Charter of Rights.
Michael Hemmings, the president of the Cornwall Bar Association. Opposition spokesman on health and wellness, Dr. Alfred Dawes, is calling for urgent national attention and compassion in response to what he describes as the country's growing mental health crisis. His comment follows a troubling trend of suicides in the second half of this year.
To all who are hurting, please know that you are not alone. The recent data is deeply concerning. Our mental health and suicide prevention helpline received 633 calls for help in September alone. This is not just a statistic. It is a clear sign that many among us are in pain and are seeking support. We must look out for one another. Please check on your friends, your family members, your colleagues.
According to data from the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF, 44 suicides were recorded up to September 29 this year. That's 9 fewer than the 53 reported between January and September 2024. However, the JCF notes sharp month-to-month increases, with suicides up 33% in July, 20% in August, and 25% in September compared to last year. The JCF says males continue to account for the vast majority of cases. Dr. Dawes is calling on Jamaicans to look out for each other.
If you notice someone is withdrawing, expressing hopelessness, or behaving out of character, reach out. Have that conversation. Ask them if they are okay. That simple act of connection can be a lifeline. There is no shame in struggling with your mental health. The strength it takes to reach out for help is immense. We must work together to remove the stigma that prevents people from speaking up.
Dr. Alfred Dawes, opposition spokesman on health and wellness. If you or someone you know is considering suicide, get help. Call the Ministry of Health's Suicide Prevention Helpline at 888-639-5433, the UMATA chat line at 876-838-4897, or SafeSpot at 888-723-3776. Meanwhile, the Lawyers Christian Fellowship Organization is adding its voice to concerns about the rise in cases of alleged suicide. The organization is a fellowship for Christian legal professionals in Jamaica. Helene Colin-Nicholson is a member.
The Lawyers Christian Fellowship is very concerned about what appears to be a rapid increase in cases of alleged suicide in Jamaica. We recognize that this issue of suicide, it doesn't only affect individuals, it affects families, the communities, and by extension, our nation. And we strongly believe that with the right intervention, suicides are preventable. We note that mental health challenges have become more prevalent in our nation, and we all have a role to play in combating its devastating effects.
Colin Nicholson notes that suicide is often the result of a serious mental health issue.
Lawyers Christian Fellowship is committed through prayer and other practical intervention to assist in tackling this issue. It has robbed families, it has weakened the moral fabric of our nation, and we're urging people to be more kindly affectionate towards each other and demonstrate with sincerity love that God has commended as we strive to protect each other.
Helene Colin-Nicholson, a member of the Lawyers Christian Fellowship. A knee-jerk reaction. That's how President of the Joint Confederation of Trade Unions, JCTU, Helene Davis White, is responding to a recent call for job cuts in the public sector. Last week, former President of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, JMEA, John Mahfood, sparked a firestorm of controversy when he called for job cuts in the public sector to boost efficiency and reduce the public sector wage bill. Davis White says what is needed are ideas to boost productivity in the public sector.
We take a decision as to what services are best delivered by the public sector, and in that context, having determined what services are best delivered by the public sector, to look at how best to deliver those services, and in that context, look at providing the sector with the necessary technology and processes that would make that possible. As a trade union movement, we have always said that we only get to the point of staff cut situations where it can be proven that the numbers of staff that are employed lend to a situation where, we are paying out more for services that are not delivered effectively. And investment in the public sector is very important rather than to take the knee-jerk approach talk about cutting staff.
Helene Davis White, a trade unionist. Her position is supported by President of the University and Allied Workers Union, Opposition Senator Lambert Brown.
There's no doubt that the public sector needs to be more productive, but the proposal of cutting jobs is really a knee-jerk reaction, because who are you going to cut? workers in the health sector, the teachers, the police, the fire brigade, the correctional services. Those are the ones that make up the bulk of the public sector, you know. And therefore you're cutting areas that are already short. And that is a myopic approach. So yes, we need to focus on productivity, and leadership need to lead that process. We need to appreciate the importance of technology, improving the conditions of the staff in the public sector, at the same time as setting targets to be achieved in fulfilling objectives.
Senator Lambert Brown, president of the University and Allied Workers Union. A group of frustrated prospective homeowners staged a protest outside the Helsha View housing development in Portmore St. Catherine on Sunday. The group says it has already paid deposits for homes in the development, but are still waiting for their units to be completed. They're demanding answers from the Housing Agency of Jamaica Limited, HAJ, the government body responsible for the project.
So we made the deposit 3 years now, and constantly, every time they've contacted us, it's a promise about a date that is yet to come. We have about 4 different promises of timelines that have not been met, and we are simply tired of it now. 3 years later, they're telling us that we should give them until December to figure out what they're going to tell us December. We can't wait 3 years for you to tell us at this time that you're still thinking about what you need to do after we've made investment. They gave us less than a week to come up with the deposit for this place. You understand? And it's been 3 years now, and we are seeing no development, nothing.
The protesters say it has been more than 2 years since they made their down payments. They say several promised completion dates have passed. They argue that they cannot continue to wait indefinitely. The Helsha View development, located on Shooters Hill on the Helsha Main Road, is a partnership between the HAJ and Right Solutions Developers Limited. Construction was slated to begin in 2022, with the starting price for the 2-bedroom detached homes set at $17.2 million. But the properties remain incomplete, with no roofs, windows, or doors. According to the group, it recently received an email update from the HAJ about the project. They described that update as a slap in the face, saying it offered no meaningful information on when the houses would be ready. The protesters are calling on Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness to intervene.
You have been too silent when we send our correspondences to the HAJ. You do not even give us the pleasure of responding. People have paid their money within 5 days. The deposits were paid. Letters were sent to the office of the Prime Minister rather, and as usual, no response. No response. So we are also calling on the Prime Minister, Mr. Holness, Honorable Dr. the Honorable Andrew Holness. We need answers now.
A frustrated would-be homeowner at Helsha View development in Portmore, St. Catherine. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:17.
Decorate like a designer with BH Paints. The temperature brought to you by BH Paints is
28 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, 26 out west in Montego Bay, and in Mandeville 21 degrees Celsius.
Have you ever been to a store and felt right at home? The minute you entered, you knew that's where you were meant to be. Picture it. The dedicated warm staff greet you with a smile, show exceptional professionalism, and still make you feel like family. Everything is catered to you. You know you're getting the best, because to them, you're the best. That's the New Walters Pharmacy, 18 High Street, Black River. Call 965-2264 or 476-3939. The New Walters Pharmacy. Pharmacy, everything exceptional.
In regional and international news this morning, regional news, Guyana's largest and most advanced thoroughfare, the new Demerara River Bridge, was officially commissioned on Sunday. Guyana Chronicle says it has been named in honor of former President and now Vice President Dr. Barrett Jagdeo. The official naming was announced by President Dr. Irfan Ali, who addressed a large gathering at the inauguration ceremony. In his remarks, President Ali made tribute to Dr. Jagdeo, describing him as a confident, visionary leader and a tireless champion for democracy, sustainable development, and global climate action. Highlighting Jagdeo's contributions to national development, President Ali praised his leadership during his tenure as President of Guyana, a period in which the country saw the restoration of macroeconomic stability, debt relief through the Heavily Indebted Poor Countries Initiative, and a renewed focus on poverty reduction and infrastructure development. The Barrett Jagdeo Bridge is set to be a transformative addition to Guyana's infrastructure network, enhancing connectivity, reducing travel time, and supporting the rapid growth along the Demerara corridor. International, France's political crisis has deepened after the new prime minister dramatically resigned within hours of appointing a government. Sébastien Lecornu was the third French prime minister in a year as the country continued to lurch from one political crisis to another. He held the job of Prime Minister for 27 days. The Guardian is reporting that Lecornu quit hours before his first cabinet meeting on Monday afternoon. President Emmanuel Macron accepted Lecornu's resignation on Monday morning. Lecornu then made what he called a spontaneous speech on the steps of the Prime Minister's residence in Paris. He appeared to place the blame on opposition political parties in France, who he said did not want to compromise. Also in international news, Israel and Hamas have begun indirect talks in Egypt aimed at implementing Donald Trump's Gaza peace plan. The BBC says the preparatory talks involve Hamas, Qatar, and Egypt. Hamas has agreed to parts of Trump's 20-point plan, including the release of Israeli hostages, but hasn't accepted all the conditions. The Hamas delegation is led by Khalil al-Hayya, who Israel tried to kill in Qatar last month. On Sunday night, Trump called for everyone to move fast, adding, quote, "I am told that the first phase should be completed this week," end quote. Israeli strikes on Gaza have continued, with the civil defense saying 24 Palestinians had been killed in 24 hours. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
Welcome to Deposit Insurance in a Minute. JDIC provides deposit insurance to each depositor based on their ownership category, up to $1.2 million at each bank and building society.
So what that mean now?
What it means is deposits in each bank are insured separately, up to $1.2 million, and deposits in different ownership categories,
such as individual accounts, business accounts, joint accounts, and trust and nominee accounts, are also insured separately in each bank.
So wait, if me open my account in a two different banks, the two of them cover $1.2 million each?
That is it. Even if you plan for open two different categories of accounts,
like one individual and one business account in the same bank,
JDIC insures them separately under the deposit insurance scheme.
That's how deposit insurance works.
JDIC, protecting deposits for you and me.
Hey, did you hear? JUTC just launched Rural Express routes.
Really? Where to?
Travel to and from Kingston with direct routes to Orcharius, Montego Bay, Negril, Mandeville, Maypen, and coming soon, Port Antonio.
Wow, that sounds convenient, but must be pricey.
Not at all. Special introductory fare just $2,000. Except for Maypen, that's just $1,500. The JUTC Rural Express is here. Your ticket to comfort, connection, and convenience at a price that fits your budget. Whether it's family, school, or a weekend getaway, travel to Jamaica's top destinations with ease and enjoy a smooth, stress-free ride. Visit our social media at JUTC Ltd or log on to www.jutc.gov.jm for schedules.
Time now for your morning sports. Montego Bay United opened up a 4-point gap atop the Ren Nephew Jamaica Premier League table on Sunday after coming from behind to beat Chapelton Maroons 2-1. The win lifted Mobay United to 16 points, clear of second place Racing United, who were held goalless by Portmore United in their St. Catherine derby at Ferdinita Park. Defending champions Cavalier provided the only other victory on Sunday thanks to a 2-0 win over Tivoli Gardens. In other games, Mount Pleasant and Waterhouse ended 1-1, and Spanish Town Police and Malines United drew 2-2 in a Drusland doubleheader. Crystal Palace missed a chance to go second in the English Premier League on Sunday. The Eagles squandered an early lead to lose 2-1 away to Everton, whose winner came late from on-loan Manchester City player Jack Grealish. City moved up to fifth after an Import Road victory over Brentford thanks to Erling Haaland. In other games, Aston Villa tagged Burnley 2-1. Newcastle saw off Nottingham Forest 2-0, while it was 1-1 between Brighton and Wolverhampton. Former Trinidad and Tobago and West Indies cricketer Bernard Julian is dead. Julian died this weekend at 75. The cause of his death is not known at this time. The versatile swing bowler was a member of the West Indies team that won the 1975 World Cup. He also played 24 tests for West Indies, scoring 866 runs at an average of 30.92 and took 50 wickets at 37.26. His international career came to an end when he participated in the 1982-83 and the 1983-84 rebel tours of then apartheid South Africa. In 2005, Julian was diagnosed with throat cancer, but subsequently recovered. Finally, in your morning sports, veteran cricket commentator Joseph Reds Pereira believes that Cricket West Indies erred by sending a West Indies senior team to play Minos, Nepal, instead of a developmental team. The regional side, led by Akil Hussain, suffered a shocking 2-1 defeat against the lowly rated Nepal in their recently concluded 3-match T20I series in the United Arab Emirates. The result was the first victory for Nepal against a full member in any format and sent shockwaves across the cricketing community. Pereira, who spent over 50 years as a commentator, said it would have been better served to send a young, inexperienced side instead of including some of their senior players. He says by going for a development team, they would have at least exposed a number of the region's budding young talents to playing in a different atmosphere away from home. Instead, he says the focus was on trying to win the series and missed an opportunity. And that's it for your morning sports.
Give your team a glow up at the 2025 Business and Personal Etiquette Conference on November 6th at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Procure the presence, polish, and professionalism to make your team unforgettable. Hosted by Make Your Mark Consultants in partnership with Caledonia Outdoor Advertising, Visual Tech Solutions, Nationwide 90 FM, Main Event, and more. Register now at makeyourmarkgroup.com or call 876-978-6001 for the Business and Personal Etiquette Conference.
In business this morning, Japanese stocks have hit a record high after the country's ruling Liberal Democratic Party, LDP, named Sanae Takaishi as its new leader. This positioning the pro-business politician to be Japan's next prime minister. The benchmark Nikkei 225 index closed 4.75% higher on Monday ending the day above 47,000 for the first time. Takaishi, who has held senior government roles including Minister for Economic Security and Internal Affairs, is known for her support of higher government spending and lower borrowing costs. She is also a longtime admirer of former UK Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher and her free market approach to economics. Investors welcomed the announcement of her victory in the LDP leadership race, with the shares rising in real estate, technology and heavy industry companies. While the Japanese stocks rose, the yen hit a record low against the euro and dropped by 1.7% against the US dollar. Now, U.S. pharmacy chain Rite Aid announced that it would close all remaining stores. The company's website was replaced on Saturday with a message announcing the closure. Founded in 1962, the company was once one of the largest pharmacy chains in the country. At its peak, Rite Aid counted 5,000 stores. But in recent years, the chain faced financial struggles and a Justice Department investigation. By Friday, data showed fewer than 100 stores remained. Rite Aid had filed for bankruptcy in October 2023 and May 2025. Finally, in foreign exchange trading this morning, the Jamaican dollar will open trading against the benchmark US dollar, selling for an average $161.34. Against the Canadian, the Jamaican will open selling for an average $115.84. And finally, the Jamaican dollar will begin trading for an average $216.85 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
Protecting your personal data is a priority for the Jamaica Customs Agency. We urge you to use the agency's official platforms to conduct your business. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
6:30.
Looking for superior quality transportation from an international award-winning provider? Well, look no further. Choose Island Car Rentals, Jamaica's leading car rental company, setting the standard for quality transportation in Jamaica. For over 50 years, Island Car Rentals has been your trusted partner for reliable, top-quality vehicles. But we're more than just a car rental company. Need an airport transfer at any hour? Heading out of town and want to travel in style with a private chauffeur? Need a truck to rent for business or personal use? Or maybe you need a customized shuttle or tour for a large or a small group. Whatever your transportation need, Island Car Rentals has you covered. Call us today at 876-926-8012 or 876-929-5875 or visit www.islandcarrentals.com to book your next trip. Because Island people take better care of you.
Sagicor is spreading the word. Catch it early. Catch it early. Catch it early. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Early detection can save your life. Don't drop the ball. Get screened for breast cancer today. Do your self-examinations regularly and schedule your mammogram. Make sure you're prepared. Get Sagicor Life Critical Illness Insurance. Access up to 25% of your sum insured on early diagnosis of breast cancer. Conditions apply. Catch it early.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
When I look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed, and I close my eyes and smile. Sometimes I feel like the richest man in Babylon, and I've done my best, so everything's alright inside. Oh, every morning, I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing, so when the evening comes, I lift up my eyes to this blessed old man, with my two hands in the air as far as I can.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you. You're tuned in to Nationwide this morning. NTM, thank you so much for coming on over and joining us this Monday morning. It is Monday, October 6, 2025. Happy to have all of you joining us this Monday morning. Hope we find you well. Good morning to our YouTubers, our friends out there in Radioland joining us as usual from the website or our app. Good morning to you as well. Thank you so much for continuing to listen to NTM and all the other programs here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Tana Thomas.
I'm Sandra Roden. It's a good morning to be alive, a good Monday morning at that. And yeah, while you're on your way to work, on your way to school, on your way just about your business, I'm wishing you a very, 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 very good morning, and that you have a great and wonderful day today, because today is a great day, a good day to be alive.
Indeed it is. And just to add to that as well, Sandra, for persons out there heading to wherever you are heading, to do so carefully, to be vigilant, to be cautious, to take your time on the roads. If it is that you're a commuter, a pedestrian, to cross when it's safe to do so, not be dilly-dallying through traffic, oncoming vehicle, not the right way to do it at all. And so no jaywalking out there this morning or any other morning. And I am revisiting that caution this morning because of that deadly crash that took place, I think it was on Saturday, or either early Saturday morning or Friday night, in which two people lost their lives over there in Portmore. So another appeal to persons this morning, all road users, whether you're walk foot or you're driving, to be careful on the nation's roads.
Yeah, I actually wanted to start off like that, Tana. Last evening, I was on the road.
Yeah.
And while being on the road, Tana, I was stunned. I was stunned in the truest sense of it. I was at a stoplight and I witnessed an accident right before my eyes. Right before my eyes. And, you know, when I come on and I talk at length about what's happening on the roads, and, you know, some of the commenters on YouTube, they're saying they don't want to hear that. They want to hear about all the other things happening in the world, Jermaine. But it pains my heart, Jermaine, to see that I was at a stoplight, and while being at that stoplight, somebody was making a U-turn, and then the collision literally pushed my vehicle back to what happened on the road. And it was really something that you're there, you didn't expect it. It just happened in the blink of an eye. It could be any one of us in that moment, and it speaks about road safety, using the roads, how the roads are designed to be used, turning where you are supposed to turn, not running through the red lights, which is something I'm seeing as a natural, normal occurrence here. I said it on air before when George was here with me, and I was saying to George one morning that I can bet my bottom dollar that I'm going to go up to a stoplight, and if I hear the motor of a motorbike coming close by, I can bet that they're going to run the light. I haven't been wrong so far. Since I said that statement, I've probably experienced one bike stopping at the stoplight since I said that statement, and that was over 8 months ago. So pardon me if I'm not as amused and bemused to talk about all the things happening on the political landscape that everybody wants to hear, but some people really do need to hear about the safety, how you drive, how you go about your day. And I'm not bashing a particular group, because it's a general consensus that we need to value our lives more. And that leads me to this idea of the pace of our purpose. You ever notice how everybody's rushing these days? Rushing to get to work, rushing to get rich, rushing to get there, wherever there is. We live in a world that celebrates speed. We love fast cars, fast food, fast Wi-Fi, fast success. Somewhere along the line, we started to believe that moving quickly meant we were doing something meaningful. But lately, I've been wondering, what if purpose doesn't move at that pace? What if purpose was never meant to be fast? Think about it. Everywhere you turn, someone's telling you to hustle harder, sleep less, grind more. If you're not working, you're losing. But nobody tells you what happens when you run so fast. You lose yourself in the process. And that's similar to what I'm talking about on our roads. When was the last time we stopped, really stopped, to ask ourselves, where am I going? And more importantly, why am I going there so fast? You see, we talk a lot about purpose, but we often treat it like a destination, a place we'll arrive at once we've achieved enough, earned enough, or proven enough. But purpose isn't a finish line. Purpose is a pace. It's that steady rhythm between who you are and what you're called to do. It's not about speed. It's about direction. And if your pace is costing you your peace, then maybe it's time to slow down. Because the truth is, some of the most important things in life can't be rushed. You can't rush wisdom. You can't rush healing. You can't rush growth. The tree doesn't force itself to bloom in winter. It waits for its season. But we, on the other hand, try to bloom in every season at every cost. We're exhausted, anxious, and comparing our journey to everyone else's highlight reel on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook. You scroll online and you see someone your age buying a house, someone younger than you running a company, someone else living the dream, and suddenly your pace feels too slow. But here's the irony. You might be further along in your purpose than you think, because purpose isn't measured by how far you've gone. It's measured by how true you've stayed. Let me say that again. Purpose isn't measured by how far you've gone. It's measured by how true you've stayed. When you think of the people who made real impact, not the ones who trended for a week, but the ones who left a mark, they weren't rushing. They were steady, they were intentional, and they were present. If You want me to get a little biblical? Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness before leading his people. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years behind bars before walking into his destiny. Even Jesus, before starting his ministry, spent years preparing in obscurity. It makes you wonder, if God isn't in a hurry, why are we? Maybe the problem isn't that we're behind. Maybe it's that we've been running at a pace that was never meant for us. So this morning, I want to challenge you, whether on the roads or in your life, to check your pace. Are you running toward purpose, or are you just running from pressure? Are you chasing meaning, or are you chasing validation? Because if your success comes at the cost of your sanity, your life, it's not success, it's survival. Sometimes slowing down means you're losing some time. It means you're finally giving time a chance to work for you. Take a moment today to breathe, to sit with your thoughts, to remind yourself that it's okay to be in the process. The caterpillar doesn't rush the cocoon. Transformation takes time. So maybe, just maybe, the next chapter of your life won't come by running faster, but by walking faithfully. Because when you walk with purpose, you never have to chase your destiny. It meets you on the path. So this morning, wherever you are, on your way to work, dropping off the kids, or just sitting quietly, remember this. It's not about how fast you're moving. It's about whether you're moving in the right direction. Purpose has a pace, and it's not frantic. It's faithful. Slow down. Take time, and remember that purpose has a pace.
And it's a protege, eh? Chronics are where you stay, eh? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I just go where the trade wind blows, sending love to my friends and foes. And I suppose I'm pleased to be chilling in the West Indies. I provide all my wants and needs. I got the sunshine, rivers and trees. Relief, hey.
When me see Jah, me see a way. Drastically straight from hypocrisy, I say, hey. Every man to them own a philosophy. I live the proper way and then me read a chapter daily. Monday in a
Truth is, you can live life to the fullest with HIV. This time signal is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The time is...
It's 6:46.
JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union offers financial solutions for every stage in your life: savings, auto loans, mortgages, and more. The Temperature by JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union, your financial partner for life, is...
It's 28 degrees Celsius in Kingston City, 26 degrees Celsius out west in Montego Bay, 22 degrees Celsius in the cool hills of Mandeville.
Educators, it's just summer your way. Let's go! Upgrade your ride with the sweet summer sale from the JTA Cooperative Credit Union.
Educators, take the driver's seat with the sweet summer sale from the JTA Credit Union. Ride in style with a new car or take that well-deserved vacation with a personal loan. Low interest rates, flexible terms, and fast approval. It's your summer your way. For more info, call 876-618-1706.
The sweet summer sale from the JTA Cooperative Credit
Serving
Union.
our members, impacting lives positively.
Have you ever been to a store and felt right at home? The minute you entered, you knew that's where you were meant to be. Picture it. The dedicated One staff greet you with a smile, show exceptional professionalism, and still make you feel like family. Everything is catered to you. You know you're getting the best, because to them, you're the best. That's the New Walters Pharmacy, 18 High Street, Black River. Call 965-2264 or 476-3939. The New Walters Pharmacy.
Pharmacy, everything exceptional.
When you hear those horns, you know what time it is. It's time for Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Good morning to you, Ludlow.
Morning, Sandra. Morning, Connor.
Morning to you.
Just to tell you that it's like in Bingham Town, Deanery Road, Upper Ellison Road, all these areas are running smooth. If you go into the lower section to connect with Port Royal Street, it's all good too. Because Michael Manley, the road that takes you from the Windward Road area or even further towards the Glasgow Highway is really running smooth at this point in time. And going up Mountain View, not a problem as you make your way up towards past Deanery Road, Stanton Terrace, Outerwinds, all these areas running smooth. Outerwinds are going out, no problems at this time. And if you're going through Herb McKinley Drive to go to Stanton Terrace, it's free flowing. Roosevelt Avenue, that road that takes you back onto the Old Road is pretty free flowing, as well as Old Road coming down. It's really steady at this point in time. So there you go, our first report for the morning. Remember, motorists building across the other side, west, coming into east by the Mandela. So be very careful as you traverse. So until 7:20, it's back to you, Andre.
Thank you, Ludlow. It's now time for Word of the Day.
Your word of the day is spelled Pinnate, spelled Pinnate.
Pinnate. Pinnate. Pinnate.
Pinnate is your word of the day. It's an adjective, pinnate. The definitions provided by dictionary.com: having leaflets or primary divisions arranged on each side of a common stalk. Also resembling a feather, as in construction or arrangement, having parts arranged on each side of a common axis. Pinnate is your word of the day. Let's see some sentences provided for the word pinnate. The trees' pinnate leaves with their delicate leaflets were a beautiful sight in the autumn breeze. Another for you: many ferns have graceful pinnate fronds rising on long stalks from their rootstock. Pinnate is your word of the day. Do not know if you'll have reason to use this one, but it's spelled again, Pinnate, pinnate. It's an adjective, a descriptive word, meaning again having leaflets or primary divisions arranged on each side of a common stalk, or resembling a feather, as in construction or arrangement, having parts arranged on each side of a common axis. Pinnate, your word of the day. I do see a lot of you reacting to Sandre's What's on My Mind this morning. I did see somebody saying that you should post your What's on My Mind, Sandre. Carl Medley says, good morning. So true, Sandre. The era of must-have now is bound to bring serious consequences. And Carl says, social media is a big contributor. I see Marlene Harris saying, beautifully said. Is this Nose Red Na says, let the church say amen on that one. Janet McLean says, well said. I see as well Etta Barclay. Good morning to you, Etta. Etta Barclay saying, powerful words, Sandre. Alice Williams saying, sound words, Mr. Roden. Nads J. Good morning to you, Nads J. saying, wow, I love this What's on My Mind. And as usual, Juliet Sanchez with a lot of emoji clap hands this morning. I see Ernetta Reed saying, well said, Sandre, continue to preach it. Nerissa Richards says, a word to the wise. To Music Mai says, well done, Sandre, well done. Terrence Jones says, amen. Patricia Wallace says, that is so true. Beverly Reed says, amen. Cheryl Thomas says, ditto. And Chris D says, sometimes we need the somber reflection. And that is what you provided this morning, Sandre. And Sharon Kong saying, so true, my brother. Amen. Claudette Barrett saying, solid advice this morning. And Maureen McKenzie, well said, Sandre. Ronald Grant, real talk, Sandre. So a lot of positive reaction to the What's on My Mind this morning.
Yeah, you know, Tana, it was a thought, as you know, a day, when was it, like last week or week before, Mr. King, I was going around a corner. And while going around the corner, imagine I'm seeing a vehicle in my lane around that corner coming head on. And I really looked at the man, and he seemed to be throwing something out that side and drifted, but he was now directly in front of me. And the swing he had to swing to get back out of the lane, I really was there and be like, this really could be it. This could be that moment. And in that day, there are other things that I experienced on the road, and I'm like, I've done nothing. I'm driving at a normal pace. I went around this corner, I had to slow down so this man could swing. Imagine what could be going on for him to be on my side. And I realized that a lot of the time, Tana, that's what we are. We're just running. We're just going. Everybody's just going. And then, in the snap of a finger, it costs us something. And we don't really think about what it costs us. We just think about, I need to get there, so I need to rush. So sometimes we really just need to slow it down and think about what we really are doing, and are we doing it in purpose, or are we just doing because we want to?
Yeah.
Living Well is brought to you by the New Walters Pharmacy, Black River, St. Elizabeth. Everything exceptional.
Farming in Jamaica is becoming very chemical dependent, and in some sectors is totally chemical dependent. One such sector is the sugarcane sector. Most people do not know that the production of sugarcane requires one of the most dangerous chemicals out there. It goes by the name of Merlin WG75, and it's manufactured by Bayer Agrochemicals, South Africa. It is used for killing weeds when growing sugarcane. We will look at the information from the company's safety data sheet. The parts pertinent to us reads as follows. Reproductive toxicity, category 2, damages the unborn child. Acute aquatic toxicity, category 1, very toxic to aquatic life. And chronic aquatic toxicity, very toxic to aquatic life with long-lasting effects. Hazardous components, isofloxacetol. The Environmental Protection Agency in the United States states the following about isosoxfotol. It is acutely toxic and will almost always move off-site, even if administered as directed. It is classified as a Group B2 probable human carcinogen. The data available listed as highly phytotoxic. It is persistent and mobile and will leach and accumulate in groundwater and through surface water. Isofloxacetol causes damage to the thyroid gland and degeneration of the liver. Its residues can contaminate surface water through spray drift. Under some conditions, isofloxacetol residues may also have a high potential for runoff into surface water, primarily via dissolution of runoff water. For several weeks after application, these include poorly draining or wet soils with readily visible slopes toward adjacent surface waters and frequently flooded areas. In a study titled Pesticide Use in Human Health in Northwestern Jamaica 2007, the Caribbean Agroeconomic Society, the study was a collaborative effort between the Westmoreland Health Department, Ministry of Health Jamaica, the University of Birmingham, Alabama, and the Department of Agricultural Economics, Auburn University. The report stated the following facts. A number of studies have detected high levels of pesticide residues in surface water and aquatic life in Jamaica, and acute pesticide poisoning is believed to be widespread there. Although 96% of farmers had some form of formal education, 75% had received no training in the use of pesticides. Only about 15% thought that crop yields and quality could be maintained without the use of pesticides, and only 29% believed that pesticide use posed a health risk, while 91% thought that pesticide use was an environmental hazard. Most alarming, however, was this quote. A fair proportion of farmers burn, bury, or dump unused pesticides or empty pesticide containers in the bushes. As we can see, we have a very serious problem. not only with the use of dangerous chemicals, but also ignorance about the products being used and how to dispose of them properly. The disposal problem is greater, however, than just the farmer. The distributor and the government also has a role to play. Some of these products in unused portions and containers can only be disposed of in a certain way that may be technical in its means. That's Living Well for today. Tune in next time for the final installment of pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides.
Living Well was brought to you by the New Walters Pharmacy, Black River, St. Elizabeth. Everything exceptional.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
One of the biggest fears people might have is walking into a room filled with strangers. Here are some tips that might help you deal with that awkward moment. I'm Tana, and these are your lifestyle pages. Make a good first impression. This means having a friendly expression on your face and making eye contact. Put yourself together. If you don't feel good about yourself, others will notice. Introduce yourself to one person at a time. Shake someone's hand. This gives you the edge, and make eye contact while you do so. Be on the lookout for a shy person. This will give you an opportunity to show your people skills. I'm Tana, and those were your lifestyle pages.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Jamaica, let's make road safety a priority. Slow down, stay focused. Remember, every life matters. The time brought to you by the JIS is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
If you need to build it, plumb it, weld it, pave it, or power it, National Supply has it. Get the best brands for the job at Jamaica's Industrial Hardware Superstore. Kingston Normal Bay. The temperature by National Supply is
28 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, 26 out west in Montego Bay, and in Mandeville it's now 22 degrees Celsius.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 for this morning, Monday, October 6, 2025. 5 people are dead, including an infant, following a shooting incident in Commodore, Northern St. Catherine. G2K blasts opposition leader Mark Golding, branding him entitled for demanding a meeting with the Prime Minister. Opposition spokesman on health says Jamaicans must look out for each other amid a troubling rise in reports of suicide. And in international news, France's Prime Minister resigns after only 27 days on the job. The details after the break.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
For the details, I'm Tana Thomas. Nationwide News understands that 8 people were shot, 5 fatally, in St. Catherine sometime after 10 p.m. on Sunday night. It's understood the incident, reportedly the work of gunmen, happened in the community of Commodore in Linstead in the parish. The ages of the deceased are 4, 42, 19, 39, and 22 years old. It's understood that an 11-year-old is among those being treated at hospital. We'll have more on this developing story over the course of the morning. The young professional affiliate of the Jamaica Labour Party JLP, Generation 2000 G2K, has branded opposition leader Mark Golding as arrogant, entitled and immature. This after Golding published a letter sent to Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, in which he took umbrage at the suggestion from the Prime Minister that he meet with Justice Minister Delroy Chuck to discuss the way forward for constitutional reform. In a statement on Sunday, G2K also criticized Mark Golding for what they say is his general disrespect towards the Prime Minister. Robin Williams reports.
G2K says it's of the view that Golding's latest stance is another indicator of his willingness to act as an impediment to Jamaica removing the United Kingdom's monarch as head of state. G2K says it recalls Golding's protracted hesitation in relinquishing his United Kingdom citizenship. The group says it's concerned Golding's conduct is reflective of an individual who, at heart, does not wish for Jamaica to remove the British King as head of state and create a republic. According to G2K, it should also be noted that regarding the issue of constitutional reform and making Jamaica a republic, Initially, Golding had committed to proceeding on areas where there is agreement between both major political parties. In its statement, G2K reminded that Mr. Golding had also urged eagerness in deposing the UK-based monarchy as head of state. But the group says, unfortunately, Golding backtracked when it appeared the government's move to have Jamaica become a republic would imminently succeed. G2K is also criticizing Golding for what it says is his consistent disrespect of both Prime Minister Holness and the office of the Prime Minister. The group says the most recent example was when Golding refused to observe protocol and stand for the arrival of the Prime Minister at the recent swearing-in ceremony at King's House. G2K says Golding also committed a similar protocol breach during a recent diaspora conference and also refused to directly acknowledge the then Prime Minister-elect during his concession speech on general election night. According to G2K, the PNP president also raised eyebrows at a corporate event which was held in the weeks leading up to the general election when he and his team removed themselves from the event immediately after Dr. Holness arrived. G2K says while making a hasty exit from the event just prior to commencement of formal proceedings, one of Golding's handlers commented, "Time come." G2K says it's ironic that despite his track record of disrespecting Dr. Holness, Golding is now seeking to meet directly with the Prime Minister as opposed to meeting with the Constitutional Affairs Minister, whose portfolio Golding recently appointed himself to shadow. Generation 2000 is calling on Golding to desist from what the group described as his entitled, immature and disrespectful approach towards Prime Minister Holness and the office of the Prime Minister. The group says Golding should realign his stance towards one which is favorable to making Jamaica a republic as soon as possible. Robeanne Williams for Nationwide News.
President of the Cornwall Bar Association, Michael Hemmings, is suggesting that the country's best interests can only be served if both the government and opposition surrender partisan considerations in the pursuit of constitutional reform.
The Constitution is the country's supreme legislation, and when it comes to constitutional reform or any change, it requires great doing. It's not just something that is willy-nilly changed. So as it relates to whether or not I'm skeptical that it will be done, it is whether or not the persons who are seeking to do so will get the support as is required, the 2/3 majority as is required. I am not sure as it is now, but I welcome any change that will assist the nation in a great way and that will protect our rights and freedoms that are enshrined within the Constitution and the Charter of Rights.
Michael Hemmings, the president of the Cornwall Bar Association. Opposition spokesman on health and wellness, Dr. Alfred Dawes, is calling for urgent national attention and compassion in response to what he describes as the country's growing mental health crisis. His comment follows a troubling trend of suicides in the second half of this year.
To all who are hurting, please know that you are not alone. The recent data is deeply concerning. Our mental health and suicide prevention helpline received 633 calls for help in September alone. This is not just a statistic. It is a clear sign that many among us are in pain and are seeking support. We must look out for one another. Please check on your friends, your family members, your colleagues.
According to data from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, 44 suicides were recorded up to September 29 this year. And that's 9 fewer than the 53 reported between January and September 2024. However, the JCF notes sharp month-to-month increases, with suicides up 33% in July, 20% in August, and 25% in September compared to last year. The JCF says males continue to account for the vast majority of cases. Dr. Dawes is calling on Jamaicans to look out for each other.
If you notice someone is withdrawing, expressing hopelessness, or behaving out of character, reach out. Have that conversation. Ask them if they are okay. That simple act of connection can be a lifeline. There is no shame in struggling with your mental health. The strength it takes to reach out for help is immense. We must work together to remove the stigma that prevents people from speaking up.
Dr. Alfred Dawes, opposition spokesman on health and wellness. If you or someone you know is considering suicide, get help. Call the Ministry of Health's Suicide Prevention Helpline at 888-639-5433, the UMATA chat line at 876-838-4897, or SafeSpot at 888-723-3776. Meanwhile, the Lawyers Christian Fellowship organization is adding its voice to concerns about the rise in cases of alleged suicide. The organization is a fellowship for Christian legal professionals in Jamaica. Helene Colin-Nicholson is a member.
The Lawyers Christian Fellowship is very concerned about what appears to be a rapid increase in cases of alleged suicide in Jamaica. We recognize that this issue of suicide, it doesn't only affect individuals, it affects families, the communities, and by extension our nation. And we strongly believe that with the right intervention, suicides are preventable. We note that mental health challenges have become more prevalent in our nation, and we all have a role to play in combating its devastating effects.
Colin Nicholson notes that suicide is often the result of a serious mental health issue.
Lawyers Christian Fellowship is committed through prayer and other practical intervention to assist in tackling this issue. It has robbed families, it has weakened the moral fabric of our nation, and we're urging people to be more kindly affectionate towards each other and demonstrate with sincerity love that God has commended as we strive to protect each other.
Helene Colin-Nicholson, a member of Lawyers Christian Fellowship. A knee-jerk reaction. That's how President of the Joint Confederation of Trade Unions, JCTU, Helene Davis White, is responding to a recent call for job cuts in the public sector. Last week, former President of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, JMEA, John Mahfood, sparked a firestorm of controversy when he called for job cuts in the public sector to boost efficiency and reduce the public sector wage bill. Davis White says what is needed are ideas to boost productivity in the public sector.
We take a decision as to what services are best delivered by the public sector, and in that context, having determined what services are best delivered by the public sector, to look at how best to deliver those services, and in that context, look at providing the sector with the necessary technology and processes that would make that possible. As a trade union movement, we have always said that we only get to the point of staff cut situations where it can be proven that the numbers of staff that are employed lend to a situation where, we are paying out more for services that are not delivered effectively. And investment in the public sector is very important rather than to take the knee-jerk approach, talk about cutting staff.
Helene Davis White, a trade unionist. Her position is supported by President of the University and Allied Workers Union, Opposition Senator Lambert Brown.
There's no doubt that the public sector needs to be more productive, but the proposal of cutting jobs is really a knee-jerk reaction, because who are you going to cut? Workers in the health sector, the teachers, the police, the fire brigade, the correctional services. Those are the ones that make up the bulk of the public sector, And therefore, you're cutting areas that are already short. And that is a myopic approach. So yes, we need to focus on productivity, and leadership need to lead that process. We need to appreciate the importance of technology, improving the conditions of the staff in the public sector, at the same time as setting targets to be achieved in fulfilling objectives.
Senator Lambert Brown, President of the University and Allied Workers Union. A group of frustrated prospective homeowners staged a protest outside the Helsha View housing development in Portmore St. Catherine on Sunday. The group says it has already paid deposits for homes in the development but are still waiting for their units to be completed. They're demanding answers from the Housing Agency of Jamaica Limited, HAJ, the government body responsible for the project.
So we made the deposit 3 years now, and constantly, every time they've contacted us, it's a promise about a date that is yet to come. We have about 4 different promises of timelines that have not been met, and we are simply tired of it now. 3 years later, they're telling us that we should give them until December to figure out what they're going to tell us December. We can't wait 3 years for you to tell us at this time that you're still thinking about what you need to do after we've made investment. They gave us less than a week to come up with the deposit for this place. You understand? And it's been 3 years now, and we are seeing no development, nothing.
They say several promised completion dates have passed. They argue that they cannot continue to wait indefinitely. The Helsha View development, located on Shooters Hill on the Helsha Main Road, is a partnership between the HAJ and Right Solutions Developers Limited. Construction was slated to begin in 2022, with the starting price for the 2-bedroom detached homes set at $17.2 million. But the properties remain incomplete, with no roofs, windows, or doors. According to the group, it recently received an email update from the HAJ about the project. They described that update as a slap in the face, saying it offered no meaningful information on when the houses would be ready. The protesters are calling on Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness to intervene.
You have been too silent when we send our correspondences to the HAJ. You do not even give us the pleasure of responding. People have paid their money within 5 days. The deposits were paid. Letters were sent to the office of the Prime Minister rather, and as usual, no response. No response. So we're also calling on the Prime Minister, Mr. Holness, Honorable Dr. Honorable Andrew Holness. We need answers now.
A frustrated would-be homeowner at Helsha View Development in Portmore, St. Catherine. And in international news, France's political crisis has deepened after the new prime minister dramatically resigned within hours of appointing a government. Sébastien Lecornu was the third French prime minister in a year as the country continued to lurch from one political crisis to another. He held the job of prime minister for 27 days. The Guardian is reporting that Lecornu quit hours before his first cabinet meeting on Monday afternoon. President Emmanuel Macron accepted Lecornu's resignation on Monday morning. Lecornu then made what he called a spontaneous speech on the steps of the Prime Minister's residence in Paris. He appeared to place the blame on opposition political parties in France, who he said did not want to compromise. Now, Israel and Hamas have begun indirect talks in Egypt aimed at implementing Donald Trump's Gaza peace plan. The BBC says the preparatory talks involve Hamas, Qatar, and Egypt. Hamas has agreed to parts of Trump's 20-point plan, including the release of Israeli hostages, but hasn't accepted all the conditions. The Hamas delegation is led by Khalil al-Hayya, who Israel tried to kill in Qatar last month. On Sunday night, Trump called for everyone to move fast, adding, quote, "I am told that the first phase should be completed this week," end quote. Israeli strikes on Gaza have continued, with the civil defense saying 24 Palestinians had been killed in 24 hours. And that's it for the news at 7.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:17.
Rent or buy your hurricane supplies from Total Tools. Visit 102 Main Street, Ocharis, 34 Slide Road, Kingston 5, or Lot C6, Drax Hall, St. Anne's Bay. The temperature brought to you by Total Tools Jamaica is
28 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, 26 out west in Montego Bay, and 22 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Have you ever been to a store and felt right at home? The minute you entered, you knew that's where you were meant to be. Picture it. The dedicated one staff greet you with a smile, show exceptional professionalism, and still make you feel like family. Everything is catered to you. You know you're getting the best because to them, you're the best. That's the New Walters Pharmacy, 18 High Street, Black River. Call 965-2264 or 476-3939. The New Walters Pharmacy. Pharmacy, everything exceptional.
That time of the morning when we get our second report of Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Hey to you, Ludlow.
Hey, Tara, morning time again.
Morning time again.
To our listeners, motoring public, traveling public visitors to our island, those who are leaving also. Good morning. Well, it's quite a busy morning also, and remember now, those of you coming out the foot of Radius, you're going to have traffic, and if you're heading towards Radius Road, you're going to also have traffic, but it's slow moving there. Hurricane Estate, that's those people leaving, like Duane Park, Patrick City, going along, Duane Drive, Abbeville Avenue, going around the roundabout there. That's where you're going to have the traffic along Perkins Boulevard, heading out towards Radius Road, the foot of Radius there. And going further down, as I said, going to the overpass, there's traffic all the way down to Eastwood Park Road and going across to Conference Spring. It's the same thing along Conference Spring Road from as far as Mary Brown's Corner coming down. It's the same thing along Mannington Road. Even going through Olivia Road, that is not too bad. It's when you get to the lower section, you're going to find traffic around. And there's traffic around Barbican Road going all the way past Rough Lights, past Arcadia Drive, Rough Lights, Tucker Lane, and going towards East Kingdos Road. So it's traffic in most areas now. And remember, you won't escape the Ligonier area. That also has a lot of traffic, especially coming down Olop Road towards Matilda's Corner. And if you're in that area, traffic heading towards Oak Road and traffic heading up towards Olop Road. So it's quite an active morning this Monday morning. And no doubt, other areas are building as usual, Harbour View to the roundabout, and then it's free flowing again. So there you go, until tomorrow morning, 6:45 a.m. And it's back to you, Donna.
Thank you so much, Ludlow. That was Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Up next, the front page.
Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Back with you. We're on the front page, and on the front page this morning we're turning to one of those stories that, of course, if you're listening the news, you'd hear it, and it of course has us concerned here. Nationwide News understands that 8 people were shot, 5 fatally, in St. Catherine sometime after 10 p.m. on Sunday night. It's understood the incident reportedly the work of gunmen. It happened in the community of Commodore in Linstead in the parish. The ages of the deceased are 4, 42, 19, 39, and 22 years old.
It's understood that an 11-year-old is among those being treated at hospital. We're being joined by the Member of Parliament for Northwest St. Catherine, Damon Crawford. Good morning to you. Mr. Crawford?
Good morning. How are you doing?
Morning.
Well, under the circumstances, not so good with what we're hearing coming out of Commodore that happened last night. Have you been able to get on the scene, speak with anybody yet, or what are you gathering so far about the shooting last night?
Okay, well, firstly, Commodore, while it is within Linstead and its environs, it is on the border of Northwest St. Catherine, and by extension is shared between two seats. The direct geographic location have not been established as to which one of the seats. However, we have been in conversations with the residents because it impacts the space, the general space, and the average community doesn't consider that political separation based on geographic lines.
Yes.
So we are intervening from that standpoint. It is unfortunate news following on the rape that happened in our constituencies, specifically Burmady, where a 7-year-old child was raped, and the police acted quite swiftly to ensure that the perpetrator was caught. What I am encouraged by is the speed of response by the police force in both circumstances and the level of attention that they're paying to the community to reduce the probability of reprisals. But I'm extremely hurt that a person could be so wanton in their criminality that they went into an area, into a particular space, and injured or killed 8 people. A genuine discard for life that will not be facilitated. And it's for these reasons why we cheer for the Commission and the police force as they continue to try and keep a finger on the crime situation that we're facing.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the community of Commodore? You know, some persons listening may not know about the community. They're wondering if this is a once in a blue moon incident, and they want to know exactly what type
Commodore
of
have
it is.
seen circumstances of criminal activity every now and again. What people would understand about communities like Linstead is that they are influenced to a large part by urban spaces like Spanish Town. And so while the opinion of Northwest might be rural as it would be for example, Loidersville, the Linstead area is kind of an urban sprawl reality. Quite a few communities have evolved by squatting, and that makes it harder for policing to happen. And that's one of the reasons why regularization of land is a necessary part of crime fighting. So that area has had some of the negatives evolved. There is a reality of an attraction to towns like Linstead because of the commercial activity, and that attraction has led to an infiltration of persons who might not have been born and bred in that space and might carry cultures that are not equivalent to that in which the persons who were born and bred in the space would have had. So, in general, it is an area of mixed opinions because Linstead in itself is a attractor of persons seeking economic activity through the markets, through the vending space. And Linstead serves as a basic center of activity for rural St. Catherine in the same way that Spanish Town serves as a center of activity for urban St. Catherine. That has caused for some persons to be seeking opportunities, criminal opportunities through extortion and the defense of the extortion ring. Again, the police have been quite active and responsive, and I again thank the police in that space for having been able to keep tabs on the activity. In fact, when I had a meeting with the police recently in Yorktown, they indicated that they had only had 2 murders, and this is how quickly these things can spiral, especially if reprisals is a part of it. And I again cheer and encourage the police to continue in their efforts to keep a tab on the criminal sprawl that has taken over Jamaica.
Have you been able to speak with any of the affected family members or ascertain the conditions of those who were shot and injured?
Surprising to say that there was one particular person that called and asked for me to speak to her son. She is a family member of the persons just 3 days ago, and I saw the effort of the police to find the young man and have a conversation. I have been trying to call her all morning, and as you know, names are not in Jamaica always specific to your government name. So I am incapable to say if she was one of the unfortunate victims, because she might be called Stacy and her name is Nicole. So when I get to the community today, I will specifically find that person because I've been trying to contact her all morning with no success.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Crawford, for coming on and providing us with the updates that you've been able to ascertain so far. We'll try to reach out to you at another point throughout the day to hear if you have indeed made contact or found the person that you're speaking of, as well as to hear more about what you've been able to ascertain on the ground in relation to this unfortunate incident.
Yes, thank you. I'm just dropping off my children and then I'll get down to the space. But I also again want to say that I'm grateful to the police in this space, St. Catherine in particular, but the Linstead Yorktown police who have been able to keep the pressure tabs off. And this is an unfortunate reflection that discredits their work, but they have been quite active, engaging communities and preventing this from happening generally.
Damon Crawford, the MP for Northwest St. Catherine. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We're going to speak some more on this matter of the shooting incident in Commodore. 8 people shot, 5 fatally, sometime after 10 p.m. Sunday night. We take a break here on Nationwide this morning and come back with more.
Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is...
It's 7:30.
Me grew up as my granny save our money under our mattress.
But at an old time something. That's where I save my money in the bank. And become a one buy a little house, we also save in a building society. We have to be smart with how we save our money.
So what if the bank crash?
Well, that's where JDIC comes in. Make I tell you something. With the JDIC Deposit Insurance Scheme, once you save your money in a commercial bank, merchant bank, or building society, your deposit is covered up to a maximum of $1.2 million per depositor per financial institution if the institution fails. All the information that you need is available at jdic.org, and you can follow their social media platform for more information.
JDIC, protecting deposits for you and me.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Have you ever been to a store and felt right at home? The minute you entered, you knew that's where you were meant to be. Picture it. The dedicated one staff greet you with a smile, show exceptional professionalism, and still make you feel like family. Everything is catered to you. You know you're getting the best because to them, you're the best. That's the new Walters Pharmacy, 18 High Street, Black River. Call 965-2264 or 476-3939. The new Walters Pharmacy.
Pharmacy, everything exceptional.
Back with you. We're on the front page and we're talking about the 8 people that were shot, 5 fatally in St. Catherine, particularly Commodore in the Linstead area, sometime after 10 p.m. On Sunday night last evening. Head of the Area 5, ACP Christopher Phillips of the Jamaica Constabulary Force spoke with the media following the incident.
Well, the men pounced on them and said that they are police officers, but we know otherwise. That's not the kind of operations of the police force.
And when that happened, have you had any reports from residents in terms of what their immediate reaction was when the men came and said police?
I believe that's what contributed to so many persons being shot, because they, were very much obedient, because they felt that they were police officers. One person reported that the men were dressed in vests, looking like what the police were.
That's ACP Christopher Phillips, head of the Area 5 Police, and the grandmother of the 4-year-old also spoke to the media.
Then come them say police, and because I'm in at the police clothes, everybody thought was police. For true. And them time to go at me. And I say, Lord Jesus Christ. And then take back the gun off of me. And I saw the shooting.
What happened after that?
I saw the shooting and start shoot. So I come I find out say I'm no police. I would not be police. You understand? Cause they say how many police them would shoot up people. Because them always come there, and when them come, when the police then come, them always run out and say police.
Yeah.
And people that surrender and so forth. So everybody surrender.
What was it like witnessing that? Because they said police and they turned it away from you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go inside of the shop because the baby was beside me. And I take the baby and go inside the shop and lie down on my belly with my baby and my daughter, and I start prayer. Beg God to cover me.
How are you related to the persons who died? How are you related to the persons who died?
It's my granddaughter.
Yeah, that's the voice of a grandmother there who spoke to the media, telling us exactly what happened as it relates to the persons surrendering because they thought it was police officers, as the men indicated that they were police. Well, they said the words police, and that had people stopping in their tracks from doing whatever because they thought it was really police officers. But she gave a good account to say that when the shooting started, she now realized that it wasn't really the police because they're not used to that type of approach. So at that point they figured that something was off. But it's quite unnerving, Tana.
Yeah,
it's quite unnerving.
And we understand that the gunmen who showed up to that location, that they were armed with M16 rifles.
Yeah.
Came to the location as indicated by this grandmother and ACP Phillips, saying that they were police, so you can understand why people complied, as she indicated, as you indicated. And they just sprayed the place with bullets.
Yeah.
And now it is that you have 5 victims, family members just gone like that, and then at least 3 others, based on the preliminary information that we have, who were shot and injured, an 11-year-old. One of those 3 being treated in hospital this morning. At this time, we don't know the extent of their condition. But very unsettling, very unnerving. People within their home space, their comfort, going about their business, chilling, probably ready to retire to bed.
Yeah.
And for this to just happen, just pounce upon them like that, pretending to be members of law enforcement, because you know that would catch them off guard, catch them in a sense where, you know, nobody would run because you're the police. So I'm going to stop and comply.
Yeah. This is a well thought out attack. They knew exactly what they were doing. They went in, and of course, we want to hear from the official channels later today exactly, you know, what they found out from their investigation so far. The precision, the thought, the planning put into this seems as though these men knew exactly who their targets were, or if they had targets, they understood what they needed to do in terms of, you know, falsifying information, saying they're police, and having the people stay there so they could conduct their criminal activities. And it's a sad day. It's a sad day in Jamaica. It's a sad day to hear that, you know, we still have criminals going around doing things like this. And I really do hope that the investigations yield fruitful results, because it is a sad day, especially hearing the ages of people who succumbed to those bullets last evening.
And it just brings you back to a point where we're talking about our progress here in Jamaica, and the conversations that we've had in this newsroom about, it seems as if, you know, mass shootings are definitely not something that is popping up regularly in our reporting anymore. And how pleased, you know, we were to see that murders, homicides on the decline, mass shootings no longer something being prominently featured in our news bulletins. So to hear this story coming out of Commodore, where so many people were shot, 5 fatally, 3 injured in hospital in the preliminary. Very, very unfortunate news, and something somewhere we do not want to get back to. So indeed, the police have been doing some great investigative work into pinpointing very quickly who the perpetrators are. We hope in this instance as well that the 6 gunmen, or however many, went to Commodore last night and committed this atrocity will be found quickly and brought to justice. I do see somebody in the chat asking if the gunmen were wearing police uniforms. That we don't know. Yeah, they just indicated that they said police.
Yeah, so
which led to those in the yard complying.
So they may have had on something, Tana, that gives that impression, but I think when we get a more conclusive report later on, we can confirm what exactly is the attire they had on, because she said it looked like they had on something that, you know, looked very similar to the police uniform or the whatever vest the police wear. So if that's the case, then we'd know that they're, as I said, very thought out. They knew what they were doing, and I suspect that we should hear some things as it relates to the investigations, Tana, because that sounds like a very targeted attack. And yes, the grandmother said, Linda Ming is saying the grandmother said police vests. Yes, she said they had on vests that looks like what the police usually wear. That's what the grandmother said in her account. So, yeah.
And we should tell you as well that we understand the Minister of National Security will be making his way to the location sometime this morning to get a briefing, ascertain what has taken place there, speak with those affected in that area of Commodore. I see MS saying there are plainclothes police too, so anything is possible. That is correct.
Yeah.
There are police personnel who will show up in plainclothes, but normally those police personnel to have on some sort of vest with their number attached. But you are correct, MS. There could have been plainclothes police. They could have been showing up rather, indicating that they're plainclothes police.
Yeah. But in my experiences though, Tana, when plainclothes police officers, as you say rightfully, show up, they either have their IDs with them, some badge, or they're in that vest that has the number on, or something. If they're conducting official police business, that's in my experience. But I know in some instances, persons would say, well, a man just saying police, so you stop for it, give them a credence that you'd give to a police officer, and that is what happened in this situation. So, we really want to hear from the official investigations. I want to hear what happens after the Minister of National Security, as we're hearing from our producer, will be meeting down there in Commodore later today. This morning, really. And we should hear more about that later on in our programs right here on Nationwide.
Shot fried chicken always ready. Original crispy. Bird shock, Cajun spicy. Bird shock, a barbecue. Bird shock, we are go a bird shock.
The time brought to you by Bird Shack Fried Chicken in Montego Bay and Ocho Rios is...
It's 7:45.
At Hawkeye, our mission is to deliver cutting-edge security solutions to help you keep track of the things you value most.
The temperature by Hawkeye is...
It's 28 degrees Celsius in Kingston City, 28 degrees Celsius out west in Montego Bay, 22 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
One money, two combo. Burger King pick two, come back again. Yo, that is it. Any two combo, double deal cool. It's a good look, pick any two you wish. Whopper Junior bacon and cheese, my favorite. American chicken sandwich, or grab a big fish. Plus two small fries and two small drink. Double deal for my money and it have me a sing. One money, two combo. Burger King pick two, come back again. Yo, get BK double deal now on a Burger King. Burger King pick two, come back again. Yo.
Have you ever been to a store and felt right at home? The minute you entered, you knew that's where you were meant to be. Picture it. The dedicated warm staff greet you with a smile, show exceptional professionalism, and still make you feel like family. Everything is catered to you. You know you're getting the best, because to them, you're the best. That's the New Walters Pharmacy, 18 High Street, Black River. Call 965-2264 or 476-3939. The New Walters Pharmacy.
Pharmacy, everything exceptional.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hatley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Sagicor is spreading the word. Catch it early. Catch it early. Catch it early. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Early detection can save your life. Don't drop the ball. Get screened for breast cancer today. Do your self-examinations regularly and schedule your mammogram. Make sure you're prepared. Get Sagicor Life Critical Illness Insurance. Access up to 25% of your sum insured on early diagnosis of breast cancer. Conditions apply. Catch it early.
back with you. We're on Nationwide this morning. We're changing gears, of course. A group of frustrated prospective homeowners stage a protest outside the Helsha View housing development in Portmore, St. Catherine on Sunday. The group says it has already paid deposits for homes in the development, but are still waiting for their units to be completed. They're demanding answers from the Housing Agency of Jamaica Limited, HAJ, the government body responsible for the project.
So we made the deposit 3 years now, and constantly, every time they've contacted us, it's a promise about a date that is yet to come. We have about 4 different promises of timelines that have not been met, and we are simply tired of it now. 3 years later, they're telling us that we should give them until December to figure out what they're going to tell us December. We can't wait 3 years for you to tell us at this time that you're still thinking about what you need to do after we've made investment. They gave us less than a week to come up with a deposit for this place. You understand? And it's been 3 years now, and we are seeing no development, nothing.
They say several promised completion dates have passed. They argue that they cannot continue to wait indefinitely. The Helsha View development, located on Shooters Hill on the Helsha Main Road, is a partnership between the HAJ and Right Solutions Developers Limited. Construction was slated to begin in 2022, with the starting price for the 2-bedroom detached homes set at $17.2 million. But the properties remain incomplete, with no roofs, windows, or doors. According to the group, it recently received an email update from the HAJ about the project. They describe that update as a slap in the face, saying it offered no meaningful information on when the houses would be ready. The protesters are calling on Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness to intervene.
You have been too silent when we send our correspondences to the HAJ. You do not even give us the pleasure of responding. People have paid their money within 5 days. The deposits were paid. Letters were sent to the office of the Prime Minister rather, and as usual, no response. No response. So we're also calling on the Prime Minister, Mr. Holness, Honorable Dr. the Honorable Andrew Holness. We need answers now.
That's a frustrated would-be homeowner at Helsha View Development in Portmore, St. Catherine. HAJ and Rights Solutions Developers Limited have some questions to answer this morning about why people are waiting for this lengthy period of time to move into their homes. You heard the prospective homeowners saying that they had like a week or so to come up with that deposit. Mm-hmm. So they had to come up with their deposit very quickly.
Yeah.
And then from that time to now, this back and forth about the units. Rusted zinc concrete slabs, no roof, no windows, no doors. Come on now.
Yeah, something is definitely wrong here. The development, the construction was slated to begin in 2022. The starting price for these homes, $17.2 million. 2022, $17.2 million. We are 3 years in. Inflation, etc., has gone up. We have a lot of concerns as it relates to this, because now if I paid my $17.2 million, Tana, and I got a date that this is the completion date for this project, I would be expectantly sitting, waiting. What about persons who plan their lives around this? You were renting an apartment or renting a house nearby, and you're saying, okay, you speak to your landlord. You max out your money. You speak to your landlord, and you say, landlord, I'm leaving at X time, because you've now planned. You've given yourself room to move, Michelle. And now that you've given yourself that room, you are hearing that, hey,
there is no room for you yet.
There's no room. So you've given yourself room, but they haven't given you any rooms.
Exactly.
And that is concerning, because the plans that have been made, probably even the financial plans that have been made as well,
that's what I'm saying. You max out your money because you expect to be out of whatever accommodation you're at a certain time. And then to be continuing to get these delays, this back and forth about when the units will be completed, that throws you off.
Yeah.
That throws you off. They keep on shifting the timelines. Can you imagine from 2022, you were told that it was slated to begin. There's this slow pace at which things are being done, and it's now 2025. And our report saying no roofs, windows, or doors. And then there's another report on this matter saying rusted zinc and concrete slabs. Their houses remain skeletons of rusted zinc and concrete slabs.
Yeah.
That's little progress. That's what that sounds like.
Now, we do want a response from the Housing Agency of Jamaica Limited to tell us what exactly is happening. The protesting would-be residents have said they've reached out, they've sent communication, but they haven't received communication. Now, of course, we're responsible here on Nationwide this morning, and we're saying we want to know, has there been response? Has there been any emails, any letters, any real communication to say what's next? You know, what are the remedies for this situation? And
what is holding up better progress being made on the completion of these units? These people have paid their money. They've been waiting for years. What is holding up the completion of their units? You gave them very little time to come up with their deposits. They honored that. They came up with their deposits. They paid. And now they're just waiting in what seems like limbo. When are you going to finish these units?
Yeah, it's... And they literally said they haven't gotten any real communication to say the timeline and right solutions development, what's going on. Right solutions, these solutions they don't seem quite right at this moment, you know. So for persons asking in the chat, I see somebody asking why are they calling on the Prime Minister for intervention? Well, generally, the Prime Minister is technically the Minister of Housing. These agencies fall under his ministry, which is the Ministry of Economic Growth and Infrastructure Development. And of course, this is an infrastructure development. These are homes, HAJ, NHT, etc. fall under that ministry. So that is why they're calling on the Prime Minister for intervention. He is the Housing Minister. And that means he would be the one that would have to respond to a call like this, particularly in an area that he has been an advocate for. He's been working really hard and has given us a lot of updates as it relates to housing. So, of course. But before we even get to the Prime Minister, I can understand persons calling for the Prime Minister's intervention, because when he speaks, perhaps things will move faster. So I can understand that. But first, the HAJ needs to come public. Since the matter is now out in the public domain, the HAJ needs to come public and tell those prospective homeowners and the rest of Jamaica what is happening with this development. What is the issue? And give those people a timeline, make their timeline public so we can assist those people in holding them to account. To have those units completed in a reasonable time. It's questionable. It's possible now another Christmas. That you don't get to put up your own Christmas tree
of your house.
You don't get to put up your Christmas tree. Imagine somebody was planning to put up them Christmas tree or buy the tree already put down from last year and can't put
curtains.
It up. It's not a good look. It's not a good look, and the fact that it's now public, we are calling on the HAJ to respond and to decisively and quickly respond on this matter. We cannot have persons paying for houses and not even proper communication is being meted out to them. That That's something we cannot in any way, shape, or form accept, because all of us as citizens have to deal with these agencies. All of us as citizens, we expect the best service from the agencies and the ministries that serve the citizenry of Jamaica. As a result of that, we do expect proper response, proper communication, and we want these individuals, these protesting individuals, would be homeowners to be homeowners in the quickest possible time.
Is there more to this matter? Has that been communicated properly to the prospective homeowners?
Yeah.
What is the case this morning, HAJ, and the developer in this matter? Yeah, we need to know. We need to know.
Yeah.
More importantly, the prospective homeowners need to know. Yeah, but we're going to take a break here.
And for those asking, we have been trying to reach the relevant personnel. The producer has been trying to reach the relevant personnel to get the information. So, yes, Sharon Bless. No, we didn't lose HAJ's number. We've been trying to reach out to the relevant personnel, but they have not since answered, and as a result we do hope that they'll answer soon so that we can give a proper update, or we can hear from them exactly what's going on.
Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
When you want the food shell and make the rice well, just give me candy. Well, it's all KENDEL. Give me candy.
Another quality product from the Carimed Group.
Just give me candy.
The time by Kendall Foods, the taste of quality is...
It's 8 o'clock.
Success, powered by learning. The temperature, brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us, is...
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston and Montego Bay, 22 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's across Jamaica this morning.
Across Jamaica this Monday morning, the delivery of urology services at Mandeville Regional Hospital in Manchester has been strengthened through the donation of critical pieces of equipment valued at over $21 million. The instruments used in diagnosing and treating conditions related to the urinary tract and male reproductive system were gifted by the Manchester Wellness Foundation. The foundation has been a long-standing supporter of the public health facility. Its chairman, Herschel Ishmael, says the organization has a mandate to support the improvement of health services in the parish. Speaking at the handover ceremony at the hospital last Friday, urology consultant Dr. Davon Mitchell told JS News that the tools provided will enhance the diagnosis of patients, allowing for more precise and minimally invasive treatments. This will enable patients to heal better and faster with improved outcomes. Students at Rest Primary and Infant School in Clarendon now have safer and more reliable transportation following the donation of a bus valued at over $42,000 by the Japanese government. JIS News says that the 15-seater Toyota Hiace bus was handed over to the school last Thursday by Japan's ambassador to Jamaica, His Excellency Yasuhiro Atsumi. The donation was made under Japan's grant assistance for grassroots human security projects and facilitated by the National Education Trust under the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information. Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry, Senator Marlon Morgan, says beyond daily transport, the vehicle will facilitate student participation in field trips, academic competitions, and co-curricular activities. Finally, across Jamaica, students looking to become content creators and influencers were equipped with knowledge and skills to build their brand and succeed in the digital space at the inaugural Influencer Creative Workshop put on by the Universal Service Fund, USF. GIS News is reporting that the event held last Friday at St. Hilda's High School in St. Anne brought together established social media influencers and industry experts with scores of young creatives. It explored how digital platforms can be used for positive impact, brand growth, and community engagement. It was part of the Caribbean Telecommunications Union ICT Week of activities from September 29 to October 3. The interactive session included discussions, live snippets on Instagram and TikTok, and full streaming on the USF's YouTube and Facebook channels. Among areas covered were content creation, animation, videography, influencing, and brand building. And that's it for Across Jamaica for this Monday morning. I'm Tona Thomas.
Forget ordinary, think Liqui-Moly. Get a 15% discount on all Liqui-Moly oils and additives from April 25th to July 30th at all Burt's Auto Parts locations. Buy 4 or more Liqui-Moly engine oils or 4 transmission oils, you get a free LM40 all-purpose cleaner. But hurry up, the offer runs while stocks last and conditions apply. Forget ordinary, think Liqui-Moly. And remember, it hurts if you don't check Burt's.
New semester, your time to win. Pick up True products and you're in. True Ship, True Milk, and True Jokes. True Almond and True Moto. Refresh your semester in True Style.
Purchase any 6 True products between August 28 and October 13 for a chance to be one of 3 grand prize winners of $200,000 or 7 weekly winners of $15,000 in supermarket or book vouchers. Visit Tradewinds Citrus on IG for details.
New semester, your time to win. Refresh your semester in True Style.
Conditions apply.
Authorized by the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Welcome to Inside Customs, brought to you by the Jamaica Customs Agency, country above self.
Welcome again to Inside Customs here on Nationwide 90 FM, a production of NNN and the Jamaica Customs Agency, where we talk about those important entities related to Jamaica Customs and their extensive work that are critical in bringing in revenue for the country and ensuring that businesses have the wherewithal to thrive and strive. Last week, I started a conversation with the CEO of the Jamaica Special Economic Zone Authority, Kelly Dawn Hamilton, and there were some strings left untied. We shall hope to tie them today in the time that we have. Kelly, good morning and welcome for coming back.
Thank you so much for having me again.
Excellent. All right, so let's get right into it. So could you identify some of those some of those sectors inside the SEZ that are operational, and among those, which ones would you say are poised for growth?
So the Special Economic Zone Authority has a strong history with the global digital services sector, and that covers specifically business process outsourcing, knowledge process outsourcing, and all things tech and digital. And so we've seen tremendous growth in that space over the years, and it has certainly been one of our key sectors, critical sectors, and high growth sectors. Now we're also seeing quite an influx of companies that are interested and seeking to diversify their supply chain and stabilize their supply chain and ensure that they are hedged against any unforeseen circumstances, in the current dispensation. Now with changing policies, etc., countries and companies are looking for that stability. And so Jamaica provides just that. And so we're seeing an uptick in companies that want to use Jamaica as their nearshore location. And it makes perfect sense. I mean, we have about 20 shipping routes coming into the country, shipping lines coming into the country, and our flights, we have 3 international airports, one coming in Negril as well. So the opportunity for cargo coming in and out of the country is almost a no-brainer for us. And so what we need is companies that are going to fill the bellies of the planes and that are going to send these ships back out with Jamaican goods. And so that is the opportunity that we're seeing for manufacturing, logistics, warehousing. We have a number of companies that have been knocking on the door asking us for SEZ warehousing space because they want to take advantage of the SEZ benefits and they need warehousing. So for companies that are building out that kind of space, looking into logistics, the SEZ is that perfect opportunity for you. In terms of diversification of industry, I want to just share the opportunity presented through German Ship Repair. And this is a ship repair company that is doing dry docking services right out by Rockfort, right? And that changes the face of what Jamaica has to offer. So now when ships are passing, they can stop and get their ships serviced and fixed, repaired. Right here in Jamaica, we have about 60,000 ships passing us. There is no reason why every single one of them shouldn't be serviced here in Jamaica, creating employment for our country and, of course, investment and other opportunities. Because, where you have when you have a company or a sector developing, it's about the entire ecosystem around that and the services that will be supplied. And so this is where our MSMEs can take advantage. Remember, SEZ companies do not pay GCT, and so they are incentivized to purchase locally because they have this cost advantage. And this is where our MSMEs can take advantage of a company being SEZ. If you can't come in, you can provide services to special economic zone designated companies.
Where the SEZ is concerned, one of the questions I reflected that I should have put to you the last time we spoke is this: how does the fact that Jamaica is an English-speaking country in close proximity to the United States, so language, the educational profile of Jamaica, even though we complain at home about literacy and so forth, not high enough, but how does the factor for the language we speak, the fact of the education of the people in business and people available to do business and our proximity to the United States make us attractive for persons looking for somewhere to enter an economic zone and do business from?
That is our key, a major advantage for us. Our time zone, our English language proficiency are all key factors in what makes Jamaica that ideal location. And then let's face it, what makes Jamaica so unique and so in demand is our people. It's the heart of our country. Our Jamaican people, we work hard. When we work, we work. When we go on the field of play, we play. When we work hard, man, and we do it to win. And so especially in the customer experience side, that's why in a sector like BPO, companies keep coming back. We are top tier when it comes to service. And so all of these things come together perfectly to make Jamaica the place of choice to do business. And that's what we're seeing. Companies continue to come and knock on the door. One of the things I should share, which is a major opportunity for us that we're actively looking at now. So domestic companies currently cannot come into the special economic zone. And that was a function of base erosion and profit shifting. We didn't when the legislation was established, we didn't want to create a situation where we were blacklisted because companies would then be able to move from the domestic companies that are paying taxes into the safety of SEZ, for want of a better term, but they would be paying less taxes. And so that principle is called base erosion and profit shifting. We have an opportunity now in 2026 where that timeline comes to an end. And so we are actively looking at where are our priority sectors, what are the opportunities for our domestic industries to come into the SEZ. And so we are actively working on that now to create opportunities for our existing players in the space. So SEZ, we get a lot of questions and our comments rather about SEZ being for overseas companies. That's not the case at all. SEZs, we want Jamaican companies specifically to take advantage of the opportunity. We will handhold you. There is no question that we won't answer, particularly with our partners at Customs. Customs has been the key driver in making SEZs work. And so we continue to work with them. I mean, sometimes the line between Customs and SEZ, you can't have one without the other, right? So they are our close partners, and we continue to work with them to identify and to help our companies to take advantage of the opportunities that exist.
Absolutely. So you predicted my next question. So that leads me to ask you, though, between 2016 and now, so 9 and 6/15, so 9 years since the... 10. The 10th now, right. 10 years deep. Well, 9 plus.
Sorry,
so we're in the 10th. Well,
the 10th is 2026. Yes.
How would you characterize when you looked at the stated objectives of the Special Economic Zone in 2016 and the incremental way you've been able to make improvements to the environment, the companies that you've added, the reputation that the SEZ has gotten over time, the development of companies in it, and the way the legislative environment around customs and other financial financial considerations are concerned in the country? When you take all of that together, how would you describe the first 9 years of this authority?
So the early years were rough.
As you'd expect.
I won't sugarcoat that.
You'd expect,
They were rough because you didn't know how it would work practically. We had a legislation and now we had to implement. So, of course, there were teething pains. I am very happy to say that 9 years on, we're past that. I remember when the authority started, it started with what, 4 or 5 people, right? We now have a strong team of persons who are so motivated to help our clients to get to where they want to go. And the reason why we're so client-focused is because without them, there is no authority.
Correct.
There is nothing to move. So we get into the lives of our companies from the perspective of our job is to help you grow. And for starting at that from that viewpoint for us, it's a far cry from where we're coming from, right? And so to me, that is a great sign of success. The other sign of success for us is the growth of the company itself and the people who work in the organization, the young people who came in who never had a clue about where this would go and where their own careers would go. And, I'm talking about the people in my organization because without them, we have no authority. Without them, our private sector could come knocking, but there would be nothing to show for it. We have a program where we take our interns and we move them through professional development. We have an example now. My director of investment promotions and communications, he came in as an intern. So, yes. Kevin Farquharson. So that is a big deal in terms of growth of the organization. It is about 2 things. One, how do we help our clients get to where they want to go? And more than help, what enabling environment do we need to create to do that? And 2, for the people in our organization, how do we tool them to come out better Jamaicans, better professionals, and highly engaged and motivated to give back to our country, to work within a government space. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. I mean, for my colleagues at Customs, we're quarreled with all the time. We get cussing, right? Because the space that we occupy as regulator dictates that there are certain laws that we must follow. But success, I think that the authority is doing a great job. The team has done a significantly good job in terms of getting us to this point 9 years later. Certainly we have more to go. Certainly we have our own vision of where we want to get to in terms of our application processes being online, things being more streamlined, more efficiency in our processes, and we will get there.
Right. And when 10 comes next year, you'll be here doing another interview talking about 10 years deep into the SEZ. Thank you this morning, Kelly Dawn Hamilton. All the best to you.
Thank you very much.
She's the CEO of the Jamaica Special Economic Zone Authority, and she's stressed the very important and close partnership that they have with the Jamaica Customs Agency. This has been Inside Customs, a production of Nationwide 90 FM and the JCA.
That was Inside Customs, brought to you by the Jamaica Customs Agency, country above self.
Are you living with HIV? It's time to access treatment, get back to business, and begin your path to a brighter, healthier future. The time, brought to you by Jamaica Aid Support for Life, is...
It's 8:18.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The Temperature by Fontana Pharmacy. It's all good inside is...
29 degrees Celsius in Kingston City, 30 degrees Celsius out west in Montego Bay, and it's 22 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
60 years strong and just getting started. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Jamaica proudly presents its annual business conference, the highlight of its 60th anniversary year. Join them Thursday, October 9 at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Hear from keynote speaker, CEO of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Mr. Livingston Morrison, plus top industry leaders on global trade, the evolving CFO role, and AI in accounting. Don't miss it. Register by October 4 at icaj.org.
For over 30 years, Chris and Charles has been financing your goals, dreams, creating your great moments. Celebrate the occasion with us. Borrow $1 million in less than $25,000 monthly and get 30% off your processing fees. No guarantor needed. Call 876-920-4189 or WhatsApp 876-838-9028. Conditions apply. When you think loan, think Chris and Charles.
New semester, your time to win. Pick up True products and you're in. True Ship, True Milk, and True Jokes. True Almond and True Moto. Refresh your semester in True Style.
Purchase any 6 True products between August 28 and October 13 for a chance to be one of 3 grand prize winners of $200,000 or 7 weekly winners of $15,000 in supermarket or book vouchers. Visit TradeWinds Citrus on IG for details.
New semester, your time to win. Refresh your semester in True Style.
Conditions apply.
Authorized by the Betting Gaming and Lotteries Commission.
We're back with you. It's Nationwide this morning.
And we have two of the prospective homeowners in relation to the Helsha View housing development in Portmore St. Catherine, who are due to join us momentarily. We have been speaking about that matter in which the prospective homeowners have been complaining about the delays in getting their units, and those units are being constructed in partnership with HAJ and Right Solutions Developers Limited. The constructions, as we reported, was slated to begin in 2022, with the starting price for the 2-bedroom detached homes set at $17.2 million. We've been trying to get the HAJ, no luck so far, to respond to some questions about the updates on this housing development. What is taking so long? What is the timeline for the completion? On the line so far, one of the prospective homeowners, Jerome. Jerome, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide this morning. If you could confirm for us when it is that you had initiated this, when you had initiated with HAJ that you wanted one of the housing units that they were putting out.
Well, I guess we could start that timer when we actually made a deposit, which was in about which was 2022. It was late 2022. I was just speaking with your editor, and I was going to pull some of the emails that they had sent so that we can provide the exact dates. But it's been far and wide in terms of the communication. At one point, they took, I think, 2 years. We had like one email per year for 2 years consecutive. So this has been the kind of communication that
Jerome, one email per year from the HAJ?
Yeah, for the last 2 years. I think for this year, the last email that we got was last year. And I think it was the same for the other year before that.
I'm going to ask for a little bit more clarity on the situation around owning the houses. So you'd have paid a deposit down on these houses, or in this house, right?
That's right.
Right. And
10%, that's 10% deposit.
A 10%
and, the
deposit.
prices vary. So some persons would have paid like 1.7, some persons would have paid closer to 1.9.
Okay, and what does this mean about your ownership for the house? Is this now something that you are just preferred to get, or is this house your house?
No, we got the contracts and everything signed and stamped and went through all got the mortgage. And at the time, you know, because it's between my wife and I, and we went and we got the approvals from the NHT, and everything was on track at one point. So we have been signed for the property, for the lot, everything. We have the contract, we have all of those receipts, we have everything.
So you said that the deposit was paid late 2022.
Yeah.
And you said you got one email per year. So you got one email in 2023?
Mm-hmm.
And what did that email say?
Again, premises, the revised completion date was then moved up to, that's why I wanted to pull up the email so I can have the specific dates for you, but I'm just going off what I remember right now, because I know I'm on the way to work. But it was just a matter of promises. Every single email that we've gotten since is another deadline that was missed. And another deadline that was missed.
So the email you got in 2023, first of all, what was the deadline, the first deadline that was given to you for the unit to be completed?
You've got so many dates, and I want to misquote. That's why I said I just wanted to pull out information. But it has been a continuous string of promise dates that has not been met since 2022. As you can manage, it's been quite some time now for somebody to make a deposit in a house. And we're now in 2025. Understand? And every time they've responded to us, it's just another day promise. Now, coming forward now, we were promised for December for the handover of the keys in one of the last more recent correspondence.
December 2025? Okay.
Yeah, so one of the emails that we got this year promised for us to have the homes by December 2025. Now the email that we got last week is saying that we should give them until December to figure out a way forward. Now you can imagine how we feel about such an email.
Did they say why?
No.
There was no explanation as to why they're
from what we gather, the group of us, from what we gather, it seems like a pointing game. the developer is pointing at HHA and HHA is pointing at the developer. That's what we're getting from the correspondence from both parties.
And what are those issues that they're pointing to each other about?
In the last correspondence from the developer, they did in fact mention bureaucracy in the wording. So we'll have all that information to forward to you for the follow-up. But that's pretty much what they're saying. Everybody's pointing fingers.
So, are you getting the impression from the developer that they probably haven't received the funds necessary to complete the project?
I wouldn't go as far as saying that. I'm really not able to speak much on what they have received from whoever. But they're just pointing fingers. You know, they're still waiting on this process to be completed and processing the final stage, and it's been a repetition of the same.
Okay, so it's a lot of pointing fingers. All right, Jerome, I also have Rose on the line. Rose, good morning.
Hi, morning.
Hi, Rose. I was hearing from Jerome just now, and he's saying that the payments were made all the way in 2022. Could you help us with dates? What was the first date that you got for the completion of the project?
Honestly, as Jerome said, it has been so many dates that honestly, I personally have lost track.
Wow.
Because these guys have missed every single deadline, every last one. So it could have been 2023, but I know the last communication that we got, they said that December 2025.
And then Jerome
we're almost at the end of the year, so you know how that's going to go, because I mean, you guys can see the pictures.
Right, so that's what I thought the protest would have been about, because it's now October, and you know, if it's October now, you should be seeing some movements on the development, and not seeing that type of movement.
Nothing.
So, who is a contact person at HAJ that you'd have dealt with?
Really, you know, in all honesty, we got emails, and when we the communication was usually sent out, it states the two sales representatives that we should contact in the event that we need to speak to anybody. But these persons, they don't have information to give us. The information that we need, they don't have it. They are the sales representatives. They don't have information for us like that.
So it's just, you just rely on the emails for updates.
So we rely on the information that is sent via email. That's what we rely on, and we rely on each other.
And from your reading of those emails that you've gotten, what's the explanation why there's a delay?
Well, there's no real reason. I'm not even sure. They don't speak to funding. Nobody's specific to say, okay, but I know that this party over here is saying that, okay, this is the problem, this one is the problem, and that one is saying, look here, this one is the problem. So we're not getting any information that is comforting to us as the purchasers. Nothing is making sense because we don't have a real issue. We don't know what it is. So we don't know if it's money, we don't know if it's the stones that they complain that the stone was a problem, which they should have known from the jump, right? I'm not sure. We're just not sure. We're just in limbo.
Had it not been for us coming together as a group, we would not have gotten this far. Our voices would not have been heard.
Exactly.
Since your protest yesterday morning, has HAJ reached out to any of the prospective homeowners, you two included?
Well, I haven't seen anything in my inbox. I have yet to check, but I'm sure that something is coming because, something is going to come. But something's going to come that don't make no sense. You're going to say something like, you know, you're going to have a meeting, or maybe you're going to give us another deadline or something. But at this point in time, that don't make no sense. I don't want to hear about no model unit. Model unit don't mean anything to me at this point. It don't mean anything to us.
What do you mean when you say model unit? You don't want to hear about model unit?
The model unit is should have been completed from June. And then they're to give us a deadline as to when to come into view. So I'm saying to complete one unit out of 100 and odd don't make no sense to me at this point in time. I already know. All of us know how the house looks because we've been visiting the site all the time. We know. Just give us the house. That's all we want. Tell us when.
Could you describe for us, Rose, what's on the property? What do the units look like? We're hearing
cells. Looks like a ghost town. Not even a dog is run cross. no workmen, trucks that look like they're broken down, tractors that look like they don't move for months, buckets, stone all over the place. That's it. Does not look like an active construction site.
Rose is painting it lightly. Rose's lot is not even marked out.
Okay, and there you go. I'm here fighting, and I have no clue where my lot is because it's no foundation to lay. And maybe I was spot one of the truck them park my lot there. I don't know. I don't know.
So, aside from the protest, Rose and Jerome, what's the next move for you and the other prospective homeowners? You, Rose, honestly, you don't even know where your lot is from 2022 to now?
Don't know where the lot is, but as I say, every day we try to comfort each other and we strategize, we talk, what's the next step? Everybody come together collectively and we come up with ideas because, listen, we have to do this for each other. We need each other at this point in time. It's disheartening. You know how many Christmases ago I promised my children we'll be putting up our Christmas tree in our own home? And with me still in a rent house, I got to put a Christmas tree one more time?
Yeah,
it's disheartening, man.
I spoke about that earlier, Rose.
It's painful. So many developments come up and you have your money tied up here, and it's painful.
So the question I see in the YouTube chat, I'm going to you guys, Rose and Jerome, is are you guys considering legal action?
Honestly, we're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss and see what's next for us. We have to. Because we can't wait 1 year or 2. If I can't manage the development, give it to somebody else who can do it. So we're going to have to discuss.
In the interim, what we'd like right now is we are requesting a meeting with all the stakeholders involved, whether it be with the Prime Minister and HAJ and Right Solutions and whoever. Right now, we need everybody because we had a meeting this year with Right Solutions online where they met with some of us online on Zoom. And HAJ was absent from that meeting. And we don't want a situation again where fingers are going to be pointed in a blank direction. So we need everybody in a meeting to discuss what is happening, what is the plan, what is the way forward, and so that we can establish a day where we can get our hopes. That's all we want right now. And if we can't get that, then we're going to have to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
That's all we're requesting right now. We need everybody to tell us what exactly is going on, give us a timeline that they will actually stick to, because we're tired of missed timelines.
Yeah.
Okay?
I mean, everyone cold and handing over and nothing is happening. I see people visit other sites, Prime Minister in particular, I'm not going to put my mouth down and talk, visit a site and say, oh, this is wonderful, to see like Florida, but 5 minutes up the road there, so Telstra View is just there. Come on now.
Yeah. Well, and I just want to confirm for those listeners who don't understand the frustration, because they had question marks this morning when I was lamenting that, responses need to come urgently from the HAJ and next steps lined out. They were concerned about whether or not the houses were actually owned, but for confirmation, Rose and Jerome, contracts were signed, correct?
Contracts were signed, deposits were paid, contracts were signed.
Contracts were signed. And so we are calling on the relevant authorities. Of course, you're hearing directly from just a few of the persons who are disgruntled about this development, but we're calling on the relevant authorities to take action and to take action urgently. Thank you for joining us, Rose and Jerome.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Bye. Take care.
Yes. So that's it. We've heard directly from 2 of the would-be home owners. Contracts signed, deposits paid. We're going for a break. We'll be right back with you.
Grace is giving shoppers discounts on over 20 of your favorite Grace products when you cash out at participating supermarkets. The time by Grace could move is...
It's 8:36.
1 money, 2 combo. Burger King pick 2 two come back again. Yo, that is it. Any two come up, double deal quick. It's a good look, make any two you wish. Whopper, tuna, bacon and cheese, my favorite. American chicken sandwich, or grab a big fish. Plus 2 small fries and 2 small drink. Double deal for my money and it have me a sing. 1 money, 2 come back. Burger King pick 2 come back again. Yo, get BK double deal now on a Burger King. Burger King pick 2 come back again. Yo.
Have you ever been to a store and felt right at home? The minute you entered, you knew that's where you were meant to be. Picture it. The dedicated warm staff greet you with a smile, show exceptional professionalism, and still make you feel like family. Everything is catered to you. You know you're getting the best, because to them, you're the best. That's the New Walters Pharmacy, 18 High Street, Black River. Call 965-2264 or 476-3939. The New Walters Pharmacy.
Pharmacy, everything exceptional.
We're back with you. It's Nationwide this morning. We're in the ITA corner. We're focusing on proper driving habits for commercial vehicles, driving to save fuel and protecting the environment. This morning, we are focusing on driving abstract in particular. I'm joined by Manager for Corporate Communications and Public Relations, Mr. Dante Matthews. Good morning to you, Dante.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Indeed. What exactly is a driving abstract, Dante?
Alright. So a driving abstract is just like a report card for drivers. So it's a letter that is issued by the Island Traffic Authority that gives the history of a driver's license and information about the driver. So, for example, it tells you the first issue date of the driver's license. It tells you if there are any suspensions, any warrants, any outstanding tickets. It tells you what the driver's license to drive, if it's just private motor vehicles, if it's PPV. So it gives a detailed history of the driver and the driver's license. And this letter is usually requested by persons who are, for example, going to seek a job as a driver. So, for example, let's say Nationwide is hiring a driver, right? And the person is successful in the interview. But they want to know what type of driver is this person. Because, yes, they did well in the interview and they sound knowledgeable about the road code and all of that. But they want to know how they act, what their behavior is like on the road. So they might ask them to request a driving abstract. That driving abstract will tell them that, John Brown is licensed to drive vehicles not exceeding this weight. They are licensed to, they have outstanding tickets, 20 outstanding tickets, all of that. And so if Nationwide looks at that driving abstract now, they'll say, but wait, John Brown has 20 outstanding tickets, and they might go further to request, what these tickets are for. And then the abstract might tell them that John Brown has 15 speeding tickets and 5 seatbelt tickets, and the Nationwide will say, all right, we can't hire John Brown because he's going to be speeding with the company's vehicle. He's not going to wear a seatbelt, stuff like that. So it's a report card for the driver's license, basically, and the license holder.
All right. How does one go about obtaining the driving abstract for those who didn't hear when you explained just now?
All right. So persons who want to get a driving abstract, they first have to pay a fee at the tax office, any tax office. That fee is $3,000, right? And it should be noted that when they're purchasing that fee, they should check that the correct tax code is on the receipt, and the tax code is 365. Because, sometimes the persons go and purchase the wrong fee, so we want to ensure that the correct tax code is on the receipt. Now, when they purchase the receipt, they will come to the Island Traffic Authority or 145 Maxwell Avenue location with the receipt, their driver's license, and at the Maxwell office location, they'll fill out an application form. They must also come with the name of the organization, the drive test center, where the abstract should be addressed to. And it's a 15-minute wait. Well, it's a same-day process, I should say. So it's nothing that you'll have to submit and then come back a week after. It's a same-day process once your documents are in order.
So can this process be done online?
No, it's an in-person process because the documents that are required must be the original, and the letter is an original letter that you get to take to the organization or the drive test center. And a lot of persons who are overseas, or Jamaicans who are overseas, for example, in Canada or the US, they often request this abstract because when they're changing over their Jamaican driver's license to a Canadian driver's license or US driver's license, or they're seeking a job as a driver, or just another job in the US or Canada, the company might request that they get a driving abstract. So I know persons might want to find out how, if they're overseas, how they can get this driving abstract. Now, if you're overseas, you will need to send a notarized letter giving someone in Jamaica the permission to conduct the process on your behalf. Right, so the letter must be notarized, and if the driver's license is not available, meaning you can't send a physical driver's license, you can send a notarized copy, back and front, of that driver's license to the person in Jamaica that you're asking to act on your behalf, and that person will pay the fee at tax office. So just like if you're applying for yourself, you'll pay the fee at tax office. That's $3,000. Again, the tax code is 365. So you'll take that receipt along with the notarized letter giving you authority to collect the abstract, and a valid ID. So you, as the person acting on behalf of the person overseas, must take a valid ID, and you come to the Maxwell office location with the information, so the drive test center or the organization, and the form is filled out at our 145 Maxwell Avenue location. So that's how you get it on behalf of someone who's overseas. If the person is in Jamaica but they can't come to get the abstract and they're sending you, the same thing applies. They need to give you an authorized letter, a letter of authorization, signed and stamped. You pay the fee for the person, or if they pay it and give you the receipt, and you must also take your national ID to our location in order to collect on behalf of the person.
So how long does the driving abstract remain valid?
It says valid for 6 months. So if you collect the abstract and you have not used it and 6 months have passed, you'll have to apply for another driving abstract.
Okay. So could you explain why it's important to settle traffic tickets and how unpaid tickets can affect the driving abstract?
All right. So the driving abstract, as I mentioned in the intro for those who may have just joined, the driving abstract will list all the violations, right? So if you have suspensions, if you have warrants, if you have an endorsement, and unpaid traffic tickets, right? So if it is that you really, as I mentioned earlier, and I gave the example, if Nationwide is hiring a driver and the person has 20 tickets or so, if they clear up the tickets and then they come to apply for the driving abstract, then the abstract will say that you have no outstanding tickets, right? And that will help you. But if you have unpaid tickets and you come to apply for their driving abstract, it will be on the abstract, and then potential employers or wherever you're sending the abstract to will see that you have these tickets on your driver's license or on your record. So ensuring that you clear up these tickets will help you in getting your driving abstract. And if you pay the tickets and you have your receipt, because sometimes you pay tickets and they may not show up on the system as paid, but once you have your receipt, we can help you with getting the abstract to say that you have no outstanding tickets.
All right. Thank you for that very, very important piece of information for those listening. Dante Matthews, thanks for joining us in IT Corner this morning.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Indeed, that was Dante Matthews, Manager for Corporate Communications and Public Relations at the Island Traffic Authority. We're going for a break, and after this, we'll have your birthdays.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is...
It's 8:46.
The Birthday Club is brought to you by Burger King. Order the new cheesy fries from Burger King and load it your way with bacon, jalapenos, crispy onions, or extra cheese. Limited time only.
carry me through everything. I have no fear for anything. Jah gave me all the strength I need to make it through this world I was born in. Rastafari is my peace of mind. Jah, thank you for your loving kindness, for every drop of air I breathe, and for waking me up this morning. And when I'm trotting in the streets today, please, Jah, Jah, never leave my side. And every day the same prayer I say, and I'm saying it one more time. Yeah, trotting in the streets I pray. Jah, Jah, beg you please, never left I and I. Oh, never leave I and I. Rastafari, in my eyes I can see all the possible things people could be. Jah, Jah be my guide, cause I can only protect my flesh. But people wear disguises, help me realize, teach me love unconditionally. Can't go around preying everybody. The closest of friends will deceive you badly. I learned that Rastafari is my family. So when I'm traveling in the streets today, please, Jah, Jah never leave my side. And every day the same prayer I say, and I'm saying it one more time. When I travel in the streets I pray, I'm begging you please, never leave I and I. Oh, Jah, Jah.
Don't you leave. Inna me going out and inna me coming in, please watch over I. Protect my family when I no localize. When striding through these streets, keep my focus right, no oversight. A battlefield is.
It's time for your birthdays. Monica Stone saying happy birthday greetings to her one in a million son Kirk Brown, celebrated on the 4th of October. He's in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Wishing you a very belated happy birthday. Happy belated birthday, Kirk Brown, over there in Canada. Special happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to our friends on Facebook. Happy birthday greetings going out to happy birthday to Claudette Wishu. Happy birthday as well to Andrew Hushu. Claudette Hushu. Happy birthday to you, Claudette. Happy birthday as well to Andrew Gill, Christopher Magnus, Granville Valentine. Happy birthday to you. Wishing for you a good day. Big up yourself, Christopher Magnus. Calabar Old Boy, celebrating your birthday today. You're a general. Happy birthday to you. Wishing for your lovely one. Happy birthday as well to Lally Singh Brown, Marthea Wallace, Andrew Polanski, Andrea Jones Bennett. Happy birthday greetings also going out to British Riri, Robert King, Noel Seal, Andrea Wilson. It's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Wishing for your good one. This one says, belated happy birthday greetings going out to my neighbor Ann Spencer. Celebrated her birthday yesterday, October 5, and it was your birthday. Belated happy birthday to you. Hope you had a good one. Loxley Thomas sending happy birthday to son Antonio Thomas, celebrating his 18th birthday today. And Loxley says, although you are faced with your autism challenges, daddy, mommy, your sister, and the extended family loves you endlessly. So Antonio Thomas, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you, coming from your family.
I really wanna see you. I really wanna see you. I really wanna see you, Lord, but it takes so long, my Lord, my sweet Lord.
Angela Jones sending happy birthday to her husband Alvin Jones, coming from his children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. We love you, Sir Jones. So happy birthday to Alvin Jones, coming from your wife and your entire family. Wishing for you a good day.
Special happy birthday going to Dr. Kimon Young. Special happy birthdays going to you from your family. Friends saying that they love you, wishing you a very good day and many more years.
Jerry 1972 sending happy birthday to son and granddaughter Philip and Dania. Your birthday's today. Happy birthday to you, coming from Jerry 1972 here in the YouTube chat. Donna Johnson sending happy birthday to her daughter's friend Mark, who has celebrated his birthday on Sunday. So belated happy birthday to you, Mark. Hope you had a good one. And Chris Mullings sending happy birthday to GLP organizer of the Duhaney Park Division and a team leader, Andrew Gill, wishing him a blessed and prosperous life. So happy birthday to you, Andrew Gill, coming from Chris Mullings.
Latoya Burton saying she's sending happy birthday greetings to Uncle Junior in Canada. Special happy birthday going to you, Uncle Junior, over there in Canada, coming from Latoya Burton.
Sharon sending happy birthday to Camilla. Hey Camilla, happy birthday. Sharon saying you should have a great day. So happy birthday to Camilla from Sharon. Scrolling on down, I see Etta Barclay sending happy birthday greetings to a dear sister, Thelma Brown Edwards, aka Carol, of Pondside in St. Catherine. Happy birthday to you, Thelma Brown Edwards, aka Carol. Have a wonderful day. Happy birthday from Etta and the family. Scrolling on down, who else is on the birthday list this morning? Steve Hutchinson sending happy birthday greetings to, he says, my honorary twin children is this Tedria and Stephen Hutchinson. May God continue to bless them. So happy birthday to both of them, Stedria and Stephen Hutchinson, celebrating their birthday today. The greetings coming from Steve Hutchinson.
Oh my Lord, my sweet Lord. My sweet Lord, Lord of Lords, my sweet Lord, oh my Lord, my sweet Lord, my Lord, my sweet.
We're going to switch up the songs a little bit. We're getting a special request coming in for this one. Another special birthday greeting. And this greeting is going out to a woman of valor. A woman that we're playing this song for. She goes by the name of Marcia Mackenzie. Marcia Mackenzie, it's your day, it's your birthday. A very special birthday greeting going out to you from your husband, Minister Desmond Mackenzie. He's sending a very special happy birthday greeting to Marcia, and he's saying, listen, he's going to make it a special, extra special today. And of course, all your family and friends wishing you a very special happy birthday. Marcia Mackenzie, it is your birthday. A very special happy birthday to you. And happy birthday to you, of course, from the Nationwide family here and the NTM family, sending you happy birthday. From Marcus, Marquise, Matthew, Keegan, all the family, happy birthday to you, Marcia Mackenzie. It's your day. Enjoy it.
Oh, baby, you are that someone I've been hoping, I've been looking for my day. Don't you ever think about leaving.
birthday before we wrap. Ione Samuels sending happy birthday to daughter Roseanne Samuels Price. Roseanne Samuels Price, happy birthday to you, coming from your mom, Ione Samuels. Cheryl Hamilton sending belated happy 3rd birthday to grandson Zion. Celebrated his birthday on Sunday. Grandma loves you loads, Zion. Belated happy birthday to you. Hope you had a good one. Sweet Stap sending happy birthday to twins. Or rather to my twin, Kame. All right, so happy birthday to both of you, Sweet Stap and Kame, celebrating your birthday today. And Sweet Stap is saying to twin Kame, love you loads. Glenroy Robinson sending happy birthday to brother Wayne Robinson of the Correctional Department in Jamaica. Wayne Robinson, it's your birthday. Wishing for you many more blessings, bro, says Glenroy Robinson on your special day. Monica Stone sending happy birthday greetings to a very special son, Kurt Brown. Belated happy birthday to you, Kurt Brown. Your birthday was on October 4. Belated happy birthday to Kurt Brown there in Canada. And a Calabar old boy. So a general indeed. Happy birthday. From your mom, Monica Stone. KMC sending, this one says, please wish my one and only sister happy birthday. Wishing her a big, beautiful birthday from her one and only sister. So KMC wishing her sister a happy birthday. Wishing for you a lovely one. And KMC says, my sister's name is Tamika. So hey to you, Tamika girl, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you from your sister, KMC.
The Birthday Club was brought to you by Burger King. Have you tried the Burger King's new cheesy fries? Get the best tasting fries topped with a creamy jalapeno cheese sauce. Get yours today.
And that's about it for the show. Carlene Heslop sending happy birthday to Babs. Have a enjoyable day. So happy birthday to you, Babs, from Carlene Heslop. Thanks so much to our technical operator, Jermaine King, our super producer, Michelle McCrae Smith. Up next, the Consumer Hour with Norgay Banton, and at 10, Cliff Hughes Online. I'm Tana.
I'm Sandre.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.